Watch about dog, SK New Air this. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing was in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from we there, you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
William Memorial High School D Cup alumni.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats.
William Memorial High School D Cup alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Mad Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William Nip High School Da Costa Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our Codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say oh no did that.
Yo, so me the young Jamaican trainer, Mr. Strength No Weakness himself. Yo, I'm here to tell you guys that the Broses family presents their second annual Blue and White Grill and Chill. Let me let you know something. It will be so much fun and amazing event. Make sure you show up and show out. From the young Jamaican trainer himself. Listen, Saturday, May 28th, and it's 3458 Ballard Avenue, Bronx, New York. Me see you later. Strength No Weakness.
All right, greetings and good afternoon. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm your host, my name is Man, and today we have a legend who will be joining us to do a very special interview. When you think about Jamaica's football, you think about the history of Jamaica's football, there are very few that you could name above him in terms of his personal accomplishment and his style of play. Probably in the top three of most skillful on this island. One of the players who left Jamaica also at a young age on major contract overseas, continued to be a model for many youngsters in terms of just his way of life, his attitude, his charisma, his communication, and his relationship with fans throughout the time of his playing career and even in his retirement. He goes by the name in Jamaica, Wilaboo, but his correct name, as you all know, is Ricardo Fuller. I know that he doesn't remember this, but when I was at Constant Spring playing in under 20, I actually played again against him. Yes, so it's so sad that there weren't pictures and photos during those times, because then I would have been able to say I played against a legend, right? He and Jeremy and Johnson and Kimo Dread and Bossy, I think the name was. That was a killer Tivoli Gardens team. But I think we were able to hold them at Constant Spring. My memory could be bad, or we could have been beaten 4 or 5-2 or something like that. I don't know. He probably will remember how devastating he was to the Constant Spring under 20 at that time. But before I bring him on, I want to say a big thank you to the sponsors of this video. They are Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it most. All right, you can give them a call at 876-884-7390. They are located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and they will offer you a loan of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars, same day processing, no processing fee, and 0 to 4% interest rate. Also, to Launch Legacy, where they handle risk and seek legacy. For all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, please visit Launch Legacy at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. You'll have a conversation with Patrick Reed, who played for Waterhouse and Constant Spring and is a major part of Launch Legacy. But I will not delay this any longer. He's also a Chelsea fan, if you don't know, and his team lost yesterday, on Saturday, in fact. But he's in good spirit, and Arsenal are about to win. That may dampen his spirit as the interview goes on. But help me welcome to the I Am Sure stage none other than the legend himself, Mr. Ricardo Fuller.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, Mannings, man. It's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to be here. And no respect as always.
You're welcome. The people have been asking for you, and I spoke to Freddie, and I said, Freddie, listen, I've seen him, I've heard about him, but the conversation was so easy. He reminds me of you. He reminds me of Ricardo Gardner, who I interviewed, and Rudolph Austin, because people have this idea that a lot of the players, the past players, are kind of hard to deal with and get along with, but he's so easygoing. And I mean, the stories that I've heard, I'm not going to reveal them, about how the kind of person he is in terms of when players, like Freddie tells me story about when he's in London and how he's treated by you. Jeremy Johnson, so many other players, and they mention how you deal with them. And I want to commend you on that, because they speak highly of you in terms of how you take good care of them. So big up on that.
Hey man, thanks a lot, man. Humbly accept it, man, as always, because trust me, I've always believed that, being a bigger brother, or if you have a bigger brother, that bigger brother is supposed to look after you. And in this instance, I've been a person, been here before the others, like God have been here before me. I used to go and watch him play. So I would like to take care of all who come after me. And that's how I see it, as my fellow countrymen. Doesn't matter if they're older or younger, once they're here, and I know that they're here, I'll move everything and do everything possible to make them feel at home. Even live at my house. The amount of players live at my house before they even get their apartments and their cars, drive my cars before. Trust me. So, it's a pleasure to do that. And as well, being a Jamaican, we have to look after each other, because we know how hard and how difficult it is. We have it 2 and 3 times and 4 times sometimes harder than every other nation. Trust me. Not only in music, as you see, but also in football. Football, and that's the truth. That's the truth. And past history will say will back up my statement a while ago. So it's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to look after all these guys that came along, after me and those who were before me as well.
Wonderful. Now, you're also part of a tradition. Well, I'm going to ask you, share with us, like I ask everyone, where did football start for you, all the way to you being at Camperdown in high school, playing in the Manning Cup, going on to Tivoli Gardens? Where did it all begin? When did you start playing football? When was Ricardo Fuller? When was it? Was it at 5, 6, or at 9? Where and when did it all start for you?
Okay. Before I start, I'll just verify this. Yes, we play against you, Mannings, man, Constant Spring. 4-0, I think it was. I think I had a couple of goals in that game. And also, that's where I got my first chop. Meaning, I went out on trial for Constant Spring, and I got chopped. And I go back to Tivoli.
Yeah, they always tell us that, Yes, it was actually at Constant. I don't know how. I don't know how they miss you, man. I don't know how that happened, but it is what it is.
So I just want to rub that in before I start.
Lord.
Man. So man, that's where I got my first job. Lincoln Taff was one of my little brothers as well. I'm a bigger brother, I should say. Lincoln Taff from Greater Portmore. I think I got
Right.
one of the players there. Chippy McDonald was there as well. Being a player before me in the Manning Cup. So, I followed those guys and kind of went up there and tried. I said, I'll test myself out. Going up against all these players. And boy, the man give me a kick in my bottom. I said, come on, boy. So just to clarify that one. But yeah.
They're actually listening because all of them are in the Concert Spring group where we're actually sharing it. So they will remember.
I'm sure they'll verify that. But yeah. So it all started well, really. It's untrue. It started at about how should I say, in my mommy's tummy. My mother used to watch my father play for Tivoli High School, then Tivoli Major League. So I guess I was bubbling inside. I was bubbling. And at 4 years old, I was kicking ball in my pathway, we call it, on Bustamante Highway in Tivoli Gardens, where I was born and bred. I was born inside Tivoli Gardens. I was born in a little clinic called Kiwanis Clinic, which was erected or developed by Mr. The Honorable Edward Siaga. May his soul rest in peace. So I was born in that clinic. And at 4 years old, just kicking football barefooted in the pathway. We used 2 goals, 2 stones as the goals. One up there, 2 stones as the goal, 1 down there. And that's our field. Stuff box ball and beat it up, and then we start playing football. So at 4 years old, kicking football in the box ball in the pathway. And I guess that's where I kind of harnessed my skill. And then obviously went on to play for Denham Town Primary. Christopher Burnett, his soul rest in peace again. Another great man, great coach. Way ahead of his time, I can tell you here, sit here right now and tell you this, he was way ahead of his time. There's a certain coach in Jamaica, me being here and my experience and all that I've been through and seen, I can tell you that those guys, Mr. Christopher Burnett, another Neville Burtis Bell, who can say, Orlando Clark. These guys are way ahead of their time. And some other coaches as well, Mr. Burnham Bell, another coach well ahead of his time. Not only because they're my coaches, but because what I had experienced and gone on to witness, as a person, as a player on and off the field here in England, I can tell you that. But yeah, so then I'm to primary. Christopher Burnett was my coach. Mr. Christopher Burnett was my coach. So I played 3 years in the Premier League, because the Premier League back then was like the academies. The schools were like the academies. Yeah. I would never had so much academies as now, So scored 18 goals, in the 3 seasons at Premier League, 18.
Okay.
I played 3 years at Premier League. So I played in 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade.
Okay, so each season you scored 18 goals. 18
goals. Okay. We didn't go score all 3 seasons in the entire Premier League. So I've been doing this a long time.
I've
been doing this a long time. So scoring goals and shifting up, doing my thing. I've been doing it a long time. And at that time, Mr. Christopher Burnett was coaching 3 teams. He was coaching Denham Town Primary, St. Albans Primary, and St. Aloysius Primary. He was coaching. So yeah, and then
And you're the best player on that Denham Town team all 3 seasons.
Well, I was one off. We had a good team. We had Damian Williams. We have Chopper, Damian Williams. We have Wheeler, Andre Wheeler. These players gone on to play for Clarendon College.
Okay.
Dacaster Cup and probably Oliver Shields and all these things. We have Michael Campbell, Bangi, Boystown. Yeah, man. We had Doc. I think he came out the other side, but may so rest in peace. I think he died the other day. We had quite a few. We had a lot of players. Trust me, we have a good team, and we were always amongst the finalists or semi-finalists. We had Holy Family by Mr. Ikesman as well.
Yeah. Well. With the guys from Southside.
Yes, Holy Family. They were another top group, another top primary school team, and I can tell you that coach is another coach that's well ahead of their time as well. So 18, then went on to Camperdown High. Actually, this is a true story. So I did track and field as well, and I did cricket, right?
Oh.
So I passed my common entrance for Tivoli Garden, but I had a track scholarship. spotted by none other than Sir Glenn Mills.
Oh.
So I ended up accepting the track scholarship, and that's how I ended up at Camperdown High School to do track and field.
Wasn't it Glenn Mills who
Mills. Yeah.
Was he the same one who took Ricardo Gardner, or was Steve?
No. Stephen Francis, I think. That's Woolman.
Yeah, two Woolmans. Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
Glenn Mills is Camperdown. He's a Camperdown old boy as well.
Okay.
So and you know who Sir Glenn Mills is.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had a top scholarship. So that's how I ended up going to Camperdown, even though I passed for my common entrance for Tivoli Garden.
Tivoli, yeah.
To the top scholarship, ended up at Camperdown to do track and field. But my most natural sport was football. But I accepted the track scholarship, so I had to do track first and foremost. And then anyway, so in 7th grade now, we used to have track training. So these are true stories. These are all true stories.
No, we're fascinated.
Anyway, yeah. Went Camperdown now in 7th grade. They used to send the trainers, because each trainer, senior trainer, is responsible for each group of new athletes coming in. Anyway, so at 3 o'clock, I think at 2:30, they used to come to the classroom and say, Omar Stennett, yes, sir. Ricardo Gardner, yes, sir. Jermaine Johnson, yes, sir. So you to get up and, go into the bus to go to training, to go to track training. So they up on Ricardo Fuller, no answer. Ricardo Fuller, no answer. Ricardo Fuller, no answer. For about 3 months straight, tell them forget about me. So that's how I started to play my football.
Oh, you weren't with the track straight.
I went there for track scholarship, trained about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and the rest of the time, every time they come there, the senior trainers come there to call up. Remember, these guys don't really know the player, the runners so well, at that time, because we're still fresh. So I used to just sit on the back and in my car, put up my name, answer, So every time you don't know my face, and them have different senior trainers come to the class, so they don't know exactly who's Ricardo Fuller and who's, because we're fresh, Yeah. So that's why I escaped the track and field team and started to play by football. So I played Pepsi. Again, 20 odd goals, I think 25 goals. Play against Chris Gale as well for Excelsior. Chris was playing for Excelsior. Pepsi.
Played football for Excelsior.
We beat them 6-love. We scored a for my birthday. That was my birthday, we scored the hat-trick.
Wow. So what position did Chris Gale play? I didn't even know this.
Play defense.
So you saw him a couple of times.
A big defender, man. A big defender. But when we win that game in 16, it was on my birthday as well. I scored a hat-trick in that game.
Did Camperdown win Pepsi?
No, we went the semi-final. Got knocked out in the semi-final.
You remember by who? By which team?
I think it was New Providence with it was New Providence. There was a strong team as well. What's his name again at New Providence? He's originated from either Swallowfield or Nannyville. Don't remember, but he was a ball. I thought about me. I was nowhere in those guys' class at that time. Trust me. We have even Sheldon Brown from St. Albans. He drowned in lost his life in Jamaican at 12, went to Miami Classics. And
right.
Drowned in the pool. Aisha Kirkpatrick, another guy from St. Albans. Christopher Nicholas was at St. Albans. Because remember, we had the same coach. And Omar Brown, which was Barcy, and Kevin Johnson, they were from St. Aloysius. And with 3 teams, we used to train together on the Dust Bowl and the gravel stone pitch over Boystone. Beside the real field that Boystone used to play on. That's where we used to train, and you have a dirt gravel field, and you have the grass field that where Boystone used to play upon.
Right.
Yeah, man, up a rim there, we used to train. Obviously from Mr. Christopher Burnett, he was the head coach, he was the coach. Yeah. So I scored about, I think it was 25 goals in that season. We get knocked out by New Providence in the semi-final. No, is it New Providence? No, it's not New Providence. That was primary. New Providence beat us in one of the.
Yeah, because Pepsi would be a high school.
Yeah, that was primary. Sorry, that was primary. That New Providence primary. Who knocked us out? I'm trying to think. I don't remember, but we never won anything that year.
Anything. Okay, and then you move. You did so that was Pepsi. You played
Colts. And then Colts, went to Colts, Orlando Clark was our coach. No, we had Zakui, a Nigerian, was on some teachers moving across different continents. He was from Nigeria. He was the coach for Camperdown Pepsi team at that time, Mr. Zakui. And then Colts now, we had Orlando Clark, who was the coach. He works at Ballers now and stuff in the academy. So we didn't want anything again. In fact, we had a very disappointing season. Not because of the coach, but because of, I think we had too much indiscipline going on. We didn't have, the school, the funding, and all these things. Those things weren't right. We had funding was going on well. We had camps. We had, meals were getting prepared. But for some reason, we never hit any heights or any momentum in that season. So it was a very disappointing season. And that led to me representing Orange Villa in this under 16, in the under 16 tournament.
Okay.
Is it Kenny Mattis? What do you call
Kenny
it?
Mattis under 16, yes.
Yeah. So that's how I went to play for Orange Villa. And Tivoli started burning me out. Then I'm told to start burning me out because my drum shit. Gone to Orange Villa, take up myself, gone to Orange Villa, go and play for Orange Villa. Because I'm a coach, because the coach is there to me. Orlando Clark was there to me. He was one who put a lot of confidence and belief, as a player. Them, some coaches are good at just motivation. Like I read now. Him don't take a coaching session, but when he talk, you feel like you're 10 feet tall. And when he talk, you feel like you can run through a brick wall. That's what I say. Some coaches like that. He never takes a training session. He has Kevin Bond and he has Joe Jordan as the coaches doing their stuff week in, week out. But on match days, he give the speech before you go outside, and when he give that speech, I mean, you feel like you're 10 feet tall. You can run through a brick wall. Even though he's at every training session, he doesn't take a training session.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Clark is that kind of manager. He takes a training session, and as well, he instill that confidence inside you. He instill that confidence and belief inside you. And players need that. That's very important and vital for players, performing and being successful, in each single game or whatever league or whatever season, So, so we did it so well. And then Madden Cup now.
Yeah.
First season we had a very good season. I think we never made the first season we had a very good season. Going to the semi-final, fracture my hip. The story of my life. Fracture my hip against Wolmers.
Was it the tackle by AQ?
I don't know
Armstrong.
Bibi was playing that game, I think too. We beat
Yeah,
them
man. I think that game, AQ, and probably he's listening, but AQ, who ended up coming to Constant Spring, tackled you, in that game.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was your knee, but you got a major injury out of that Wolmer's game. Wolmer's versus.
Yeah, man, that was my hip fracture because I walked and I fell awkward.
Yeah.
Landed on my hip, and on those pitches, that surface, it might have a little grass underneath, hard like concrete. So straight away, I knew I was trying to get up, and I was just aching with pain. Where my hip
and that was your first major football injury.
Yeah, that was my first major football year. And I think that sets off a lot of other injuries, to be fair, when I think back and look back at it. Yes, I was out for 3 months. I was bedridden. I missed the rest of the Manny Cup season. We went to semi-final again and lost out. Camperdown, we lost out there. I think we need 1 point from 3 games. I ended up getting none. I don't know if you remember that. I think we need like 1 point from 3 games. I was bedridden listening to every single game. Those last 3 games. But yeah, so we'll last out. Then the last season now, I think that's where we were flying. I think we were on 7 out of 7. We beat Campion 9-0. I think I scored 3 or 4 in that game. I don't remember. We beat Campion 9. And then I think the fight with the student and the principal or something like that. I think Charlie Smith thing happened and the season they
called off the season.
Yeah. So that was it. And then obviously I was playing so well that Jamaica under 20 team called. And
this was your first time being called up to any Jamaica team?
Yes, no, that was the first time. The first time was under 17 with Liebert Aliman, Mr. Aliman. That same camp that Bibi was in.
Yeah.
I was the one I was the one behind that camp. After the camp.
Oh, the one where he had the hair issue.
You know, I was after the camp. Bibi was before me.
Because Bibi wasn't at camp.
I was kind of a strict person like that.
Yeah. This is because of his hair.
Because what happened is that I missed the under. Back then, let's go back in time. Back then in the under primary school league, you used to have all prep at the end of each season. You used to have all prep, the best 22 play the
all primary.
Play with all prep versus all primary.
Yeah.
And then from the all prep versus all primary, the winner, whatever get the prize or whatever, then they select a Jamaican under 12. That's how Jamaican under 12 usually be selected. Yeah, from that under all prep and all primary. I missed out on that for whatever reasons, even though I was leading goal scorer for 3 years running. I thought I did well enough to earn a call up, never earn a call up. Anyway, that didn't matter. Dust myself off, go again. Under 17 now. Got selected in the squad. You know, you have to train, squad got cut. We used to run stadium every Tuesdays and Thursdays. The entire steps of stadium. You know, Mr. Aliman, a ramp with fitness thing.
Yeah.
So every Tuesday and Thursday, we used to run the stadium, right? All the steps. And boy, I do it 2 times, and I can say it was difficult, it was hard, and back then I was very lazy. I like to just play with the football, you know? And on my part, I take blame on that side of it. You know, why I end up telling Mr. Aliman, you know, we had exams still at the time at high school, and I used the exams to tell him that, you know, boy, coach, I couldn't get to come on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I have exam. But really and truly, I was using the exams to dodge the running, because you have to run all the steps of stadium, you know, difficult, and I just never like too much running. I like, even if I'm running, I want to run with the ball. You know, as we do now, our simuls come and show us that we can train with the ball as well as not only just running, you know. And so on my part, that was me missed out on the under 17. But what I was kind of not happy about was the same. We had 2 other players who said that they had diarrhea, and yet still they got selected. So they do every Tuesday and Thursday they have diarrhea, and every Tuesday and Thursday may have exams, right?
Yeah.
I would really feel good if all 3 of us never get selected. But why the other 2 get selected and I get dropped?
Oh, and you weren't selected. Oh.
So I was disappointed in that, you know. And I think I had this conversation with Mr. Alman already as well. I was disappointed in that because obviously, you know, I went away in England, you see a lot of stuff, you go back, you see things you wonder, you think back because obviously I've got sense, you know, I think back on a lot of stuff and I said, but this wasn't right. And maybe me and being a man, I'm gonna, you know, coach, you know, never accept that still, you know, that was, you know, because, you know, not because they're from prep school and maybe money talk that time for that family. I will call them name. But you know what I'm saying? If one never turned up because he had exams and it was a farce, I was a lie, just because he might skip the run. And the others said, well, I may have diarrhea every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
It was a lie and a farce. So they should be the same boat as I was.
Yeah.
You know? But
the excuse don't matter.
Exactly. So anyway, never got selected from that. Burn me bad. Because trust me, I don't like, even the same time when I didn't get selected for Jamaica under 12, I cried on the football field. I used to cry when I'm on bench, you know. When Chris benched me, when Mr. Burnett benched me for the Antone Primary, me used to cry. I cry. When we get benched for Manning Cup, Mr. Zaku benched me in a Pepsi because, you know, me was always a liquor. So they call it youthful exuberance kind of kid. You know, them youthful exuberance, just being a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And I get benched because of a little naughty behavior. So I get benched. I used to cry, man. So it burned me. So the fire in me was always going to be turned out into a success, you know. So got dropped and burned me bad. So anyway, now fast forward.
Call back to the under let's say under 20.
So what happened is that the Manning Cup got null and void, and them said them a select some player for go train with the trial out for the under 20. Who was Bertis Bell is the coach at the time, and I wasn't selected. You believe that, man?
You didn't make the under 20 team?
No, I did. But initially I wasn't selected. I'm giving you the story. I wasn't selected initially, right? And my principal, Mrs. Cynthia Cook, said, "What to the man? You cannot call an under 20 team. I only don't call Ricardo Fuller. Arguably one of the best players in the Manning Cup season, 3 or 4 against Camperdown and all the other teams, and leading goal scorer so far in the Manning Cup at the time, and had a okay Manning Cup season before, and you couldn't call Ricardo Fuller." And she had her influence at that time, and she make her a few calls and put people on blast and show people up, and what help as well is that I just start training for Tivoli, Premier League team.
Premier League, yes.
Who was the coach at Tivoli at the time? Mr. Vernon Bell.
Right,
that's Mr. Bertis Bell, brother.
Bertis Bell, brother. Yes.
Yeah, man. So anyway, it turned out that them give me a trial, and Manning's man, I never look back. When I read this, Claude Davis, Damian Stewart, Stu Pease, who else was there if I can remember close? Jermaine, I think Jermaine was there. No man, Christopher Nicholas, when I start wheel ball on the field, on them, I'll near post, once we get that near post, but they matter about people supposed to see ball on near post. Claude and Stupid guy. Once we get ball on near post, but once we crack that man, keeper can't see that man, and the near post is going can't see it. When we crack that man, he can't see it. Yeah, man, so that's how it all started for Jamaica team, So enough thanks and enough respect and credit goes out to a lot of these coaches that I mentioned, and Mrs. Cynthia Cook, who is, forever my principal and always, a great woman as well, and Mr. Bertis Bell, and Mr. Vernon Bell, because them coaches make you believe, them coach way ahead of them time, make you believe in yourself. Not only just training, but them show you how important player management is, man management is, motivation, encouragement can move you from being a regular player, to a top player, to having a great game, to having the best game of your life, just by motivating people. You understand? And that's where it started. So Jamaica.
So that's the under 20 team, because we're gonna find out what happened in an actual competition with that under 20. But here's the thing, let me just give you some of the comments, and then at this point, because we don't want it to be too much and we can't go back over many of them, all right? We're gonna start from the lower end. This is Ultimate Freddie Butler says, that man is a top class individual, one of our quality human as a baller. Big up my brother Fuller. Right?
Enough respect.
That's Ultimate Butler. Axtian Entertainment says the legendary Cynthia Cook talking about the principal, and then
great woman.
Yeah, man. And then here we see big up the TG Stoke and Jamaica legend. All right. He's bigging up right there. I see earlier up here someone asked if Trevor Fuller was your father, that played for Tivoli.
I always get that,
Yeah, here you go. He says, here he is. He says, Trevor Fuller was your dad, he's asking.
No, it's not. I'm sure it's some family member way down the line, but I've always got some persons always ask those questions because of obviously the last name. And Tivoli, we live in Tivoli. I will play for Tivoli, so I've always get those type of questions. But no, not that I know of, but I'm sure with the last name, I'm sure it's family.
No, you can't say that. You want to say not that I know of, you can't say that.
No. In terms of
family.
In terms of there's nothing on paper or certificate to say, he's my uncle, he's my cousin, that's what I meant by
okay.
Yeah, that's why I said it like that, which is the right way to say it. But that's why I said also, with the last name, I'm sure down the line is family.
Could be connected.
Yeah, of course. It's Fuller. How much Fuller you know?
That's true. Fabian Watkins from Constant Spring says, bless up Wiley Boo. You would know about the Danny Lit story and you.
Yeah, man, boys, I never said Fabian can't tell you, man. The man respect me, man. Every time. The man they can't tell you. I was there on trial, got chopped, man. When I boot there, go on back the
All right. Loxley Reed, Basil, big goalkeeper. Said, big up yourself, the big boss.
Yeah, man. Loxley Reed, a baller too, man. No, man. Midfielder. Actually, that baller.
No, that's the goalkeeper, man. Loxley.
Keeper. Oh, yeah. Big up.
Yeah, man. That's one. And then I see Jawani Tomlinson says, big up legendary Fuller watching game right now. Bring back memory of this man scoring a header from a Delap throw. Bang into the back of the Gunners' net. Good times.
My goal in 7 game against Arsenal, man. I'm a baby them, man.
You know what? You know. Listen, people, this is a Ricardo Fuller, the legendary interview. I don't want any Arsenal comment because Crystal Palace leading the game. All right, so let's move away from that. But
our whole team that too, you know.
Hey.
I'm a whole team, and the first team that I'm play for in England.
Oh, all right. Well, we're going to get to that. So now, under 20, right, what did you play in an actual tournament with that group of players and how did you do?
Manning, man. Yes, Mannings, man. Yeah, man. A 14 goal in a 14 game for the Jamaican 20 team, you know.
Wow.
We got remember say we almost qualified for the Youth World Cup. We are the first group that nearly qualified, and then I think after they did it after that. I think Omar the group did it after that. For the under 20. Yeah, man, we almost qualified. We were known as the Six Love team. Central America, the Caribbean, we destroy the Caribbean. We have beat Grenada, Antigua, and Pina get 6 and 8 and all them score there. But then our under 20 team, when Reggae Boyz was Reggae Boyz, and then man the roster are scheduled full up, and Germany set them up the Bob Marley Fest over in Germany, and the Reggae Boyz them did that. I don't know where they were, maybe in North America or they were in Africa, I don't know where they were. They wanted the Reggae Boyz them to be in Germany. And we Simo send the under 20 group because our under 20 group was bad. And we have beat a Division 1 team 3-1 in Germany. And One Love, we played 2 matches in the Bob Marley Fest. They invite the Reggae Boyz and Simo send our under 20 group. Win the first game 3-1 and 1-0. I don't remember the team that we played. Claude and Soupy can verify that.
I think Soupy shared that in his interview. Yeah.
Sorry?
Scoopy shared that when I interviewed him that you guys went to Germany.
All right, yeah, man. Yeah. Our under 20 team, a dangerous team, and I was just unlucky, man, because we were known as the Six Love team. But what happened is that with Mr. Bertis, but what happened is that Simoes wanted the glory, you know, and that's what happened really. That's the facts and the truth. What happened is that we had the last round against Honduras, Mexico, and Guatemala. 4 teams. 2 teams go through, right? And the team have bubble under Bertis Bell, Mr. Bertis Bell, right? And Simoes came and take the team off Mr. Bertis, off Mr. Bell. In the hotel, we had a meeting.
Whoa. And
I am the boss. Soupies and Clark can share the story. And Jeremy and John, because they were there. I am the general here. You want to see Bertis, you want to see Mr. Bell face when the man say, I am the general. Because the man, obviously we're going to qualify, but the players, they're not used to playing under Simoes. So when him stand up on the touchline and the guys on the pitch, it's a different reaction you get from the players. While Mr. Bell come from day one, from their GC Faster campaign, and the training, months and months with their Brazil. You know, with Mr. Bell, you know, organized by Simoes. Simoes wasn't even there because he was with the Reggae Boyz at the time.
Senior team, yeah.
You know? Huh?
He was with the senior team. Yeah.
Yeah. So when at that last hurdle now, Simoes come and took over the team, there was a bad move. She just come and assist Bertis if anything, or stay in the shadow because on every player I got perform when them see a Brazilian coach. This is the 98th Reggae Boyz coach, legendary Rennie Simoes. Some player might not be able to put them full potential, and that's how football is. Why you expect some player perform on a certain manager, and when they got another club, them can't perform? You have to understand football have its own mechanism how it works. You understand? And that is what happened. Looking back then, that's what happened. Because when Simons made that statement in the hotel room, Bert's face drop, and all the players then feel away because trust me, we are bubble under, and you know, we're different. You get me? I say everything come then. We lose the game. I think it was 2-1 against Mexico, the first one, or 3-1. We get 2-1, and then 2-1 against Honduras, and then we beat Guatemala 2-1. I scored a solo effort where I dribbling, cut cross, dribble past everybody from the byline, and put it across the keeper near post. He couldn't even touch it. The ball just rolled past him. We win that game 2-1, and we never qualified. But we had Claude Davis, Stu Pease, Jermaine Johnson, Nicholas McCreed, Kevin Deere, Atal Franklin, I think.
Yeah.
Guta. We had
big baller that is Atal Franklin. I never remember Atal Franklin.
Forgive me, everyone, if I forget any name. Trust me. Nicholas McCreed, we have Christopher Nicholas. We had Kevin Deere. I mean,
you remember the goalkeepers?
The
goalkeepers.
Leon, I think Leon Gard.
Leon
Gard. Yeah, we had Leon, and we had I think Prendergast. I think it was Prendergast was the reserve. We had Leon and Prendergast. Remember Paul Prendergast in here from Woolmans?
Yeah, we'll get the name, man. People in here, the Woolmerians in here will tell us the name.
Under 20 team there. Look how many players went professional. We had players. Look how much players. So that team was
it was a big team indeed.
Trust me, but so anyway, we had 14 goals in 14 games, and in fact, that same similar group we went to. That's how I ended up going to the national team, because I went straight from the under 20 straight into the national team.
Okay.
Yeah, under 23. It was me and Robert Scarlett and Kevin there. Simons took us straight, and just we travel, go Costa Rica when we get 9. And 9 we get at Costa Rica. I was on the bench then. Me, Robert Scarlett, Little Diddy, and Kevin there. We go Scandinavia tour. We play Norway, Sweden, because that's what Simons used to do, you know. Because what he might get us climatized and get us used to certain atmosphere. You don't see that happening in the national program. So when these local players go, the other day Canada lost 4-0. The atmosphere there, they would have used to it. You understand? But so that's I was in those group. No, man. No, I was.
He's saying that Fuller, Mexico defeated you guys 5-2. Guatemala defeated you 2-1. You scored and you lose 5-1 to Honduras.
No, man, I think a 3-1. A 3-1 or 2-1. No, man, the Honduras never beat the 5-1. A 3-1 or 2-1, man. I don't remember that. I can't remember that. 3-1 or 2-1. Claude, them can verify and Stoopies. If you have that, is that facts?
No, I don't know. I don't know it, you know.
We definitely beat Guatemala 2-1. We definitely beat Guatemala 2 because we won that game. We lost 2 and lose 1. But it was 3-1 and 2-1. They can verify the facts, whatever the facts, verify that. But so we live from the Jamaican at 20. Me, Kevin
into the senior team.
Me, Kevin there.
Scarlett, little baby.
Yeah.
And then, when did you play your actual first game for the senior team?
My first game for the senior team, Jamaican at 23. Come back down to Jamaican at 23. We went to the Pan Am Games. The Pan Am Games. That's how I got spotted by Diddy's agent.
Oh, it was at the Pan Am Games.
Pan Am Game in Canada.
We had a fair good Pan Am game with your group.
Yeah, under 20 mixed with under 23.
Right.
So a lot of our under 23. Remember, some was that group we take over.
Okay.
Like how Belgium did, when them go with Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku and have them for 8 years, and the same group there, but all we are playing now, they're ready together for how many years? Simons was doing the same thing. So our under 20 group was meant to take over. Then we have Eugene Barnes, we had Bunzi, we had Andy Williams, who could still play.
Chingsu.
No, Chingsu wasn't there. We had Bunzi, Mott, that are Eugene Barnes.
Pele?
No, Pele wasn't there.
Okay.
We had Andy Williams. We had Ainsworth Carr from down at Wadada.
Socrates Christie.
No, never. No.
But Angel
We
Carr was there.
have Angel Carr, who was down from Mobius and whatever.
Him from Rossies.
Yeah, Angel Carr.
Was it the Griffiths in there too?
Yeah, Father was there too. I think Father was there too. So we had a mix of the under 20. I remember Simon was a try that keep them two, then the under 20, the under 3 together, fuse it together to take over. Whoever is good enough. So
Andy Williams was the captain, or was it Fabian?
Yeah, man. Andy was the captain.
Yeah.
So the under 23, and then we went to, when we finished, I think we came fourth. Card had a red card, and we down to 10 man, and we lost against USA 2-1 after we were leading 1-0. I think that was the first time we should have beaten them, because trust me, that group that we had in the Pan Am game, we should have taken that gold medal, because we are killing everybody. We got about 5 goals in about 7 games.
Whoa.
The agents, but yeah, man, the Pan Am tournament was wicked, man. But in this thing again, caused the problem. Steve Green, Kevin there. We had Steve Green in that group as well. He was there too. What do you mean indiscipline?
What do you mean by indiscipline caused the problem? Like indiscipline in terms of the player or somebody taking over
players,
the team again?
Players. Man, people, the manager select a team, them man are not happy, cause problem, infect some other players out of the group, fights broke out.
What?
Can't have that. You know, as I say, cohesiveness and team spirit and chemistry disrupted when you have fights, in-house fighting and no unity. And as you can see, that's probably why the Reggae Boyz have never qualified. And why we have never qualified in such a long time. And the most important thing to qualify 98 was what? Was the cohesiveness and the togetherness.
That is true. That is true.
That is exactly what. That's the most thing that other than the talent, each player or each different department players are capable and good enough talent-wise. But the most important thing was the togetherness and the cohesiveness. And for a long time, we've been lacking in that. And that's what our problem is.
So you said that it was at that Pan Am game that you got spotted because you didn't play, I mean, in the local league, you didn't play a lot for Tivoli, you know, at the Premier League level. Because
I thought, man, we don't come back to that. We mash up Premier League, man. We thought we've got my group of the youngest group we win the Premier League. We win everything except them rob Edson Scott from goalkeeper, the best goalkeeper of the season. Yeah. We win everything. You forgot my group, but the average was what? Was about 21. Because again, we only had few older players. Trevor Fuller, Aki Bats was one of them. Another second one, and Leroy.
Ligo.
Yeah, no man, not Ligo. Leroy used to be from right back. Got his last name. Anyway, Leroy, man and brother Tivoli. Leroy was another one. Was like older players. But the average, Jermaine Johnson, me, Christopher Nicholas, Arville Campbell, you name it, Barsi, Omar Brown.
Yeah.
Our average was
Kasai was there too.
Age in that group when you accumulate everybody was 21. We won everything.
Okay, how much goal did they score?
Everything except the goal score, except the even when most disciplined team.
Wow.
Yeah.
So who you beat in that Premier League final? Who did you beat in that Premier League final?
Well, Aberview, man. Beat Aberview, I think Waterhouse, man. El Maya and Goldman, Kurt Martin. I kick me all the gear and I kick me up, man. When we leave Jamaica, we win everything, man. And me I'm 18. Me 18 and play against some big old man.
Oh, you see how these
things. So
even when you're in the under 23, you are around 18 years old.
Yes, man.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. You
were. When I'm back in, I come and try to just turned 19. Just turned 19 come and try.
Wow.
And I come just in November, and I'm a birthday October, so I'm obviously 19. I'm just win the Premier League, win everything. Knockout, everything.
And then you got bought right after that season.
Yeah, I'm come and try for Charlton. Again, we scored 5 goals in 3 games.
For Charlton?
No other trial has ever done that.
So and then
we score a hat-trick again, we score 1 again, and these are Premier League teams. 1 against Southampton, beat them beat them 1-0. Matt Letizia was playing that game, was coming back from fitness. That time, the under 23 was different from the reserve team. So now, them fused the under 23 with the reserve. So that's why when Norman Campbell come to Stoke, he had to be ready to play in the first team because he would have been in the under 23 because he's 19. And the work permit criteria and all these things, he would have to be ready to play. So it was a bit of stepping stone. But yeah, so back then they have the reserve and the under 23, and then they have the reserve. So I came on trial that year when I was 19.
So hold on, let me slow down because I want the people. So you played in the Premier League, you went to the Panam game, you were spotted, you were invited on trial from there.
Yes.
And by Ricardo Gardner's agent.
Yes, Phil Graham.
Who was also Rudolph Austin, who spotted.
Come on, most of the Jamaican boys, as I say, Paul, Liam Burton, because he was before with them.
Yeah.
And I guess he was, that's how he got him up the link at that time with and then work with one man, whatever. All
right. So you went to Charlton and they had a good trial at Charlton. What happened? You signed?
Well, 5 goals in 3 games, 1 against Leicester, 1 against Southampton, 1-1, 1-2, 1 against Southampton, Leicester, 1-0 against Southampton, 3 against Watford. We beat Watford 5-2. I scored a hat-trick in that game. Signed for £1.35 million and failed the medical with my back. I had a slip disc in my back. No, I had a slip disc in my back, but it probably came from the slip the time when I injured myself, and it healed, but it didn't heal properly because remember back then we don't have professional treatment for those things. You just make a cast, you lay down for 3 months and make it set, and it might not set properly, or even when it was setting, I'm supposed to be doing rehab because even though you do surgery, you do rehab like 2 weeks after, a month after you start the rehab. You're supposed to lay down for 3 months straight. You understand? You're supposed to be doing rehab. So that everything for fall back in place when you're working, it's healing, but you're doing light stuff to make it heal properly. So I wasn't getting that. So maybe it came from that. But anyway, they spotted a slip disc, my L5 in my lumbar spine was too much forward. So basically, they say if a lot of people outside in society walking around the baby, it's very common. They say like 1 in every 5 or 1 in every 6 or something like that. Have it, but the problem is when you play professional sport, imagine if somebody 200 pounds or something like that fall on you and your nerve get caught in the spine and you could be paralyzed from the waist down. So that's the risk that they weren't willing to take because insurance are involved, millions of pounds, and suings and all these things. So that's why I failed the medical. So what happened is that I had to do the surgery to prove my fitness again.
How did that affect you? Because you seen that you're a man who like to cry. This would have been your first big. How did you manage and get past this?
I don't know management, but I did massively. Hurt me very, very bad.
Whoa.
Because remember, that we talk about.
Because you're in England.
I grew up as a poor youth. Never had football boots. We used to play football barefoot in Tivoli Garden on the street on the asphalt. The first football boots we actually playing was a girl called Marie. Never forget her. Thank you very much, Marie. With respect. My appreciation as always. I bought her softball boots. She used to play softball, kind of like a basketball thing. I'm sorry, kind of like a baseball thing.
Yeah.
And she lent me her football, her boots. And that's my first boots I played in. It was a girl boots. And then my mother could afford to buy me a boots and thing. But yeah, so a poor youth coming from in them kind of situations and achieve all those great things never seen before, never dream of being in England. You see it on TV, you see John Barnes playing for Liverpool and here's, watching Diego Maradona play and all these things, but never dream of playing in England like that, and it happened. And just as I was supposed to grab it with 2 hands, it just slip away all because I failed medical. It was awful. It was bad, very bad.
So did you stay in England or did you have to come back to Jamaica? How did that work out? Or did you have like Bibi to support you? How did you, or your family was around you? How did you manage, and what happened after that?
Well, no, I wasn't seeing much of Bibi that time because I always say Bibi was in London. Bibi was in up north, from northwest Bolton. I was in London, and at the same time, we weren't that close. We weren't close at that time anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Because I didn't know, but Bibi was 1 year older than me in terms of he was always in the squad above. Like Jamaican under 20 was the group before me. You know, my group was Claude and Jermaine's group. His group was Fana.
Okay, so it's always 1 year ahead.
So I was the one, yeah. So I didn't know much of Bibi that well, but I used to watch here, you know, obviously sign for Bolton. You know, you aspire to be like him because you want to go to England. He has made that jump, you know. Yeah. So I used to watch, but I didn't know much of him as close as now. So I was basically facing it by myself. Me and my agent, and obviously I have some families in London at the time, my auntie and my cousins. And one cousin in particular, Kiri Plummer, who I grew up with from Tivoli Garden. We are like Batty and Bench, just like how you have like a Pepe or Bibi or you know, them kind of connection there is just me and Kiri, you know. Kiri Plummer is my cousin, my auntie's son. So we are always together and things. So anyway, facing by myself, Charlton actually and the agent come to agreement that, you know, they will start pay for the surgery because I did so well and everybody wanted to buy me. We talk about Tottenham, West Ham, all the London clubs, Crystal Palace, Hearts. Because, I mean, score 5 goals in a...
They were interested in you. Wow.
Remember at that time, all the scouts used to come and watch the game. You know? That's how scouts used to come and watch it. Trial game I keep. A lot of scouts come. You know, I've only Charlton scouts. Or Leicester or Southampton or Watford scouts. You have scouts, especially in London. You know, so much clubs are in London. All the scouts. You have scouts from everywhere else come. Liverpool, everywhere. So at the end of the day, they knew what was all the other clubs wanted to sign me as well, but Charlton had first right refusal. So that's how I ended up signing for them because I came on trial with them. You understand? And
so they paid for the surgery.
They are my agent, started to pay for the surgery. I did the surgery in London in Largs, opposite Largs cricket ground. Somebody has to go again. Jesus, can I forget? Oh, anyway, Dr. Tucker was the surgeon. I'll never forget him though. Dr. Tucker was the surgeon, did the surgery. 6-hour surgery. I still have a titanium plate in my back. They have to make a cage made out of titanium.
Whoa.
They have to pull because what happened, your spine's supposed to go like this, all the way up in one line, just like that. But one was sticking out. So they have to pull it in, fuse it with the titanium, and make a cage. So I made a titanium. So that's how that procedure saved my career.
So how long were you? How long were you out? Between the surgery and you back on the field where you played again?
13 months.
13 months?
Yeah.
That's one year.
Man, nobody can grudge me or bad mind me for nothing. You hear me, man? Nobody can bad mind or grudge me for nothing.
13 months.
Trust me, I have been through a lot. And for me, if I reach, a lot of these men would have give up long time ago. You see this? A lion this year. All right.
1 year and 3 months, no football.
No. 1 year, 1 year, 13 months. 1 year and 1 month.
1 month, yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, and then that's why I end up coming for Crystal Palace. That's why I say I played for Palace.
So when you came back from the surgery?
When I came back now from the rehab and so the 13 months include time out, resting, because when you do the surgery, major surgery, 6.5 hour surgery, you have to rest up for, I think it was 3.5 months. I was living at my agent's place and rest up with and thing. And then all of a sudden, Charlton gave me an apartment so that I could go into training and get my rehab done because you need to do rehab.
Yeah.
Healing. And you can't just leave it to heal because it might heal badly, just like probably what happened with my hip. Up to this day, I don't know, but you know, I have proper treatment now. So I have to go in for rehab. So I have to be in the pool, swimming, running the pool, sting around.
You could swim before.
Non-contact.
You could swim before.
Swim. Come on, man. You know which black man here can't swim. Them put a floating thing.
Yeah.
This is for players who come up from knee or hip or ankle injury because it's non-contact. So you go in the deep and you float, but you just run in the water like a minute on, minute off, and you have like 40 of them to do. You know how hard that is?
Wow. Yeah.
Yo, trust me. What I have been, guys in Jamaica need to know that professional football ain't no joke. And I remember I wasn't even fit yet, I was coming off surgery, and these are the things I have to do, but it's non-contact, so I can do it. So a lot of exercise. Anyway, when I came back from that now, in training, I was training with Charlton, but I was out a long time. My head probably wasn't right because my first ever big contract, I wanted to buy my mother a house, my father a house, my sister a house. I wanted to buy everybody a house, everybody a car, and that just taken away. You know what I say? People who look after me, I want to help them out.
Yes.
You know what I say? So that just taken away from me. So it's just like, even though I was there doing rehab, my head mentally wasn't right because I was still strong because I was on my own all this time.
Yes.
You had family in London who come and look for me every now and again. But remember, I have to focus on my training. So I don't have time to go gallivant and idle with my family and, well, I'm here on serious business because I want to get back what was mine or what I thought I lost. So, focus, training, didn't seem as good as when I came on trial. So therefore, they said, I don't know what my agent had with Charlton. I think Alan Kirbishley was the manager at the time, Alan Kirbishley. And I don't know what happened, but the deal messed up. So them start out a deal with me going on to Crystal Palace because they was one of the team who wanted to buy me. But
and Crystal Palace were in the championship?
Yes, we're in the championship.
Right.
But at this time, Mr. Stiago, no, he doesn't want 1.35, he wants 3.5 million pounds. Because I did so well in the trial and everybody wanted to buy me. All the people, they no longer want 1.35, want 3.5 million pounds. So the asking price from Crystal Palace was 3.5 million pounds. I had to play 8 games. I played 6 games. And Crystal Palace froze me out. Simon Jordan was the owner at the time. Alan Smith was the manager. And they froze me out.
Because
I didn't look as well as I was initially
at
when
Charlton. Yeah.
Because, it's going to take games. It's going to take training session. It's going to take time for me to recover and come and go 13 months and go to rehab. Remember, I never played in England before. I traveled, I go into Brazil with national team and Ghana, and that helped me a lot. But with all that has gone on before with the injuries and setbacks and all these things, I just wasn't ready at that time. And for Simon Jordan or Crystal Palace to spend 3.5 million, these people are shrewd business people in football. They think about just take up money and buy players, at that time. So I don't have any co-ops with them, but they froze me out. So the season finished. If I played 8 games, it would have been automatic. They played 6 games, so they knew what they were doing at the time. Yeah. So, and it's business. Don't forget, football is big business. You understand? So they froze me out, and when they froze me out, now I had to come back to Jamaica because the deal never got through. So I come back to Jamaica, train in the national team. I heard Rudolph mention Sammy. I went and trained with Sammy because at that time Sammy was the trainer. So get my fitness up. And then so that's what happened there in terms of club football. And then went to Hearts was one of the teams that wanted to sign. Remember when I told you when I scored those 5 goals in those 3 games? Hearts was one of the teams who wanted to sign me as well. What happened is that Hearts strikers were all injured. Maybe that was my lucky start. I'm finally get some luck. For some reason, Hearts strikers, there are 3 strikers and all 3 strikers was injured. At that time, we were talking about Celtic and Rangers to buy players for 50 and 60 million pounds. Easily. Henrik Larsson, Bobo Balde, Amaruso, Ronald De Boer, Fernando Rickson, may so rest in peace. We are talking about some big player for Rangers and Celtic we are go up against. And it was Hearts coming third, Hearts and Aberdeen and them people. Anyway, the scout that saw me that game, contacted my agent, and instead of them outer strikers, they might give me a 3-month deal on loan from Tivoli. So they give me a 3-month deal on loan from Tivoli. And I tell the Mannings, man, the first game I go is like, oh, I don't mean that. Struggle.
Yeah? In
Yeah,
Scotland?
man, struggle. Go back to my apartment and I say to myself, no, star. Can't believe I mean this. I want to come to I mean this. Cry again. Be a ball in the apartment. I mean, alone in the apartment again. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, alone living again. You know?
Because now you have moved out of London into Scotland.
No, Edinburgh. Edinburgh, Scotland.
Away
Edinburgh.
from your family.
Yeah, so I'm not nobody up there now, Edinburgh. And me I go to a barber, me I make a woman trim me. I never in a history of life woman used to cut my hair. A woman, me couldn't find no barber. I say, no, a woman barber just, never bust a trim. And especially give me, just give me all in one. No detail, no, just trim off the whole of my hair. And I say, I now have no face. Straight focus. Second game now, struggle again. You know when they can hear it, the fans, them when they touch the ball, the fans must say, like them no expect nothing now go on.
Yes.
And me as a man, I could have always hear the fans, them, I could have always perform on the pitch while I hear them. You get me? I say, I always have that about me, because I like to get the fans them involved, by turning up on people, you get me? I say? So third game now.
So somebody asking what month you're born. He's born in October.
October, I'm a Scorpio. Halloween day.
They were asking Halloween day, the 31st?
Yeah.
They're asking about the crying things. I don't know if October.
No, love cry, brother. I'm just a passion, man. I'm gonna like lose. I'm gonna like sit up on bench. So anyway, boss. Third game now, struggle. Man. Going back now in the apartment room, because the club apartment, the club give me it, because when
you only have 3 games to prove yourself.
No, man, 3 months. We get a 3 months.
Oh, 3 months. Yeah.
So 3 months. No, 6 months remain out of the season. Leave. And the striker them injured. Them come in trim because the squad vouch me. Tell Craig Levine. Craig Levine was the manager at Arsenal.
The man said that if you make a woman trim you.
You have to get him. But when Craig Levine's in the third game, I see the manager stopped talking to me.
Hold on, Ricardo. Hold on.
He started to me, the man being the man was the piece of me, they're going to fail.
Yeah, I have to let you, hold on there. I have to let you hear this one, just to put a little laugh on your face. The man say, if you make a woman trim you, you will lose your strength.
Why, brother? Me never care that time, brother, because I just want to hold a trim. I'm a push up, so. I'm trying to find, no, we couldn't even find a Jamaica. We in the third month, we find a Jamaica restaurant, and that became my home. You understand?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
We just do one trim. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I couldn't find the nurse part, I say, I want a woman, but I say, you what? Make a whole lot of trim. I just make sure bust off the head of me here off of me. You get me, I say?
Yeah. So you said that the manager, after the third game, didn't look your best, but
yeah,
the
man.
manager was still interested.
No, you know how listen, man. The manager stopped saying to me that means say, in peace, you're not going to feel. You don't know the psychs. When they come on a club, you can know when manager and players like it. So they go to a club, and say your first day you train good. I say, buddy, yes, Rick, and I party on it. You see the second and third game, and you see you start play poorly, whatever, and then by the fourth game, you still play poorly. People stop talking to you. Everybody say, bottom line, everybody love winners. People love winners, and nobody like losers. That's the bottom line. That's professional sports for you. Straight down and words down. That is it. And that's
so you knew after the third game they were not impressed.
Yes, and man could have heard that. We could have heard from the fans them. Because when they touch the ball, you can hear. Because obviously we needed games again because a lot have gone on in my life. A lot of them don't know that. Only me I carry the burden. Only me I carry the stress up there. So you get me? I say, but me decide to me now feel because me a liar. Remember now, my entire career, club and international career with injuries. My career was decimated by injuries. But I'm still made it to this point. You get me? I say?
Yeah.
So they don't know that, So what me been through before now. So you see the 4 game now, management after me flood out my bedroom. You know that little 2-bedroom apartment there when me have up at Edinburgh. Eh? When me flood it out the night before the game, the 4th game. I'm come to Babs, I think it was against Dundee or Dundee United. What are the Dundee team then? I remember. I remember, you know, when I ball play through, you know, and the speed come back. I remember me did a spinal fusion, you know, 6.5 hours, you know. Usually you have them injury you carry over, you know. Nobody not sign, you know. You understand what I say? So for me come back from that is taking alone. You get me I say? You saw the ball play over Mannings, man. Against Dundee and Dundee United, where I don't even remember. When the last champ on that on top of the 18, you know, I have nothing in my mind, you know, but just put my foot through that, you know. And if it was a Timbuktu, we got a Timbuktu, you know.
Yes.
But luckily, it went straight at the back of the net. The keeper never see it. If he even try to touch it, the man broke. Room at the back of the net.
From the top of the 18.
From top of the 18.
First goal for Hearts.
First goal for Hearts. You see, after that, Mannings, man, and me run Edinburgh. Me not pay for food at Italian restaurant. Me not pay for food at Spanish restaurant. Me not pay go to nightclub.
Yes.
You know how much body me want a nightclub. Me get VIP anyway. Casino. Edinburgh become my town.
Whoa.
You hear me, boss? Training session. When man a pick team, me not the last pick anymore. Me a first pick. People are fight to pick me on 5-a-side in a training session. You understand? So you have to turn them things there. And that wasn't easy. Me get player of the month twice. Then me finish with 9 goals in a 24 game or something like that. Or 23 game or 21
That's
game.
the first season.
First, yeah. So the 3 months loan becomes 6 months now because after the 3 months done, Siaga asked me 3.5 million. Mr. Siaga, sorry. Mr. Siaga asked me 3.5 million.
And them say they can't afford it. They have to get a loan.
Mr. Siaga asked him 3.5 million and they can't afford it.
So you have to get a 6-month loan.
So they have to finish off the loan. So I said the 3 months now become 6 months because 6 months remain after the season.
Yes.
And then man may not get 2 player of the month. We are talking about me play against people who have about 40 million, 50 million, 60 million. Henrik Larsson, Ronald De Boer, Fernando Rickson, Amaruso, Bobo Balde. We are talking about some big players.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So comes anyway. Finish off with 9 goals, I think, in 21 or 23 games, something like that. And then Craig Brown went to the World Cup with Scotland. Remember?
Yeah, right. Scotland.
Yeah, Craig Brown. And then David Moyes went to Everton from Preston. When Craig Brown came back from World Cup duties, he got the Preston job. And him tell the whole media, you can Google it, tell the whole media, say, his first sign is Ricardo Fuller. And my agent come and tell me. So I ended up, Celtic wanted to buy me, but Martin O'Neill wasn't sure at the time. So Preston was sure, and I guess Steve Ali accepted the bid from whoever. I had no call in that because, you know, that's the club business. So I ended up at Preston.
And that was what? That was less than the 3.5 million though.
Well, they never disclosed it. They said it was over $1 million, but they never disclosed it. So I mean,
Okay.
even they didn't disclose it. Who knows what gone on there? You know, that's typical football for you. That's not because that's not that money not.
Yeah, because what you get sold
that money not more than just 10%.
Yeah, what you get sold for is not important to you, is what you getting paid. You understand me?
Yeah, but 10% of that is also mine. Or should have been mine.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
once you don't ask to leave, and the transfer happens, you're supposed to get 10% off the entire fee.
Okay, so you played for, you know, you get transferred to
Preston.
And a how many year contract?
3-year contract.
3-year contract. So this was now like your first
Official.
major.
Yeah, this is official. The rest of them was loan. So Palace was loan and Hearts was loan.
And you became the star at Preston. I mean, Preston is your city.
My name's man.
Yeah.
And my city. Again, we don't pay for food. We don't pay nightclub. We don't pay for a nightclub. Casino. I know an English thing, then we love them food and gambling, love them thing and nonsense. But I'm my town, man. I'm my town. Scored 31 goals in a 63 games. One in every other game.
And you had injuries at Preston, but
Man.
yeah.
Well, if I tell you a story, you wouldn't believe me.
Because was it at Preston you were supposed to move to Chelsea?
Liverpool.
It was Liverpool. I signed
I signed with Gerard Houllier.
Are you feeling medical?
I signed it, the deal was going through in January.
Yeah.
No, I don't feel the medical. What happened is that on the 30th of November, I never forget my dates, you know. Man, so I write them down, you know.
Whoa.
Write them down, man, because them burn me, man. But by them, I not latch it, man. I not ramp, man. So I say them bad luck, I must have equal to a good one day. Allah. Man, the Euro $1 million, $200 million pound, man, is, man.
All right.
I'm going to earn the luck the one day, brother.
What did the interview upon? The 4th of the 4th, 2022. So you know, if you buy them number, you know how it go.
You get me, I said. But yeah, man, so the 30th of November, bam. We play against Coventry. I dep on 9 goals in a 16 game. For the first season of Preston, you know. I run a riot pan people, you know. Them send me fast like 10 of them people, you know, brother. Yo, 9 goals in a 16 game, and we play Coventry the 30th of November, and the big defender named Konjic is from Ukraine or Eastern European, one of them Eastern European nation.
Big tall defender.
Big tall defender.
Yeah.
I'm a jump up, I'm a jump, flick on the ball, we win the ball, but to him jump up, we try to clear it. When me flick on the ball, and my head go back up. Feel forward, hit me straight in my head back. So you know what happened? Me unconscious from in the ear, you know. When you see about the video, you know, me knock out from in the ear, because you see my head go forward saying my foot not touch ground yet, you know. And you see my foot touch ground, my body went one way, and my foot them went the other way. So I rupture my ACL.
Oh, whoa.
That is my luck for you, man. You get me?
This is right before the Liverpool signing.
This was the January, remember transfer room opened in January. This is 30th of November, so 1 month before the window open. And I'm a Liverpool player, £6 million to Preston, from Preston North End. Met Gerard Fuller, agent, everything. I remember saying that you can always meet and the deal would have come through because the club allow Liverpool to talk to me, so.
Yeah.
Problem. As long as the fees were then accepted, then that would have gone. So that's the story of my life. You get me? So anyway, did the surgery at Stedman in Vail, Colorado, where Ruud van Nistelrooy, Ronaldo, number 9, Beckham, all them man do them surgery, all at the top. He was the top man at the time. But you know, Preston loved me so much that them have to make the top of the top look after me, you know? Because them believe in me and know, so I'm sure all the signs. Anyway, so yeah, and you know, Craig Brown loved me like a son. You know, and Billy Davis was the coach. So yeah, man, I come back now, second season now. I'm scoring 23 goals.
So how long were you out from the ACL injury?
8 or 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah,
okay.
8.5 months.
So you came back after the season started? Okay.
Yeah, and score 21 in the league, 23 in our competition. And then Portsmouth came in for me.
Right, because you left from Preston, I went to Portsmouth.
Yeah, so Portsmouth came. This is it. You don't hear the story yet. My story in my life never easy, you know. That's why I said nobody can go to me and bad mind, you know, brother. Nobody, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So after the season finished now, we finished I think 14th or 15th. Because we started well, but we faltered off for whatever reason. So the owners wasn't ambitious enough. The owners just want to stay in the league because of business, you know. Sell jerseys, sell tickets, sell commercial merchandise and all these things. They want to make money. So they just want to stay in the league. They wasn't ambitious enough. You know, Preston is probably one of the most unluckiest team with not going to the Premier League. Them lose about 3 playoffs.
Playoffs. Yeah. That is true.
It wasn't ambitious enough. And that's the facts, you know. And anyway, second season now, finished with 23 goals in whatever games, in our competitions, 21 in the league. And Portsmouth came in, I read now. So the beginning of the third season now, I play my second game, score, 2 game running score, the first game and the second game. So the third season now, I read that came in before the window closed, and I want Ricardo Fuller. Bam. 3 million, 5 million, whatever they said it was, another undisclosed again. Because for some reason always undisclosed for me. I don't know why it have to be undisclosed.
But you know based on your 10% though.
Yeah, but me not get them because the agent them are criminal at the time. You know? But you live and you learn, you know. That's why we try to help others.
Yeah, to help them understand the game.
Yeah. So went to Portsmouth, but failing medical again.
Whoa. What this was a knee this time?
Yeah, the knee.
Oh, this was a knee one. Yeah.
70 arthroscopy because I had a hole in my cartilage. And it was keep shredding because it keep rubbing. And it keeps having, rubbing and shredding debris floating around causing fluid. So anyway, and that, whatever reason or technicalities or whatever it is, I failing medical. So I have to go back to Preston now. And you know what happened when I go back to Preston? Because the fans never want me leave, But I want to challenge myself. I can't just want to play in the championship. If a Premier League team come in, which championship player I go say no? If a Premier League team come for any player and you play in a lower division, you always going to say yes. You want to challenge yourself, you want to try to win something, and plus you're gonna be on more money too. But at that time I wasn't even thinking about money, I was thinking of playing in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So anyway, went back to Preston now. My own fans them start booing me. Judas! Judas!
Yeah, but by this your family was there at this time now.
Yeah, my family was there. My cousin was living with me from Edinburgh. My cousin after the 4th game, my cousin come across the one I grew up with at Tivoli.
Right.
Look after, he's my big chef too. So him doing the cooking, I would focus on football because if I wasn't for him too, maybe I wouldn't have such a successful career because as a professional player, you have to focus on football. You can't be coming up and training, stand up and cook on your food. For 2 hours, for 3 hours, cook. And you have to go back, you should have rest, and you have to go train the next morning. You have game the Saturday, Friday you come in, you have to cook, stand up on your food. That's not professional football. You get me? I say, Cristiano Ronaldo, why do you think he's doing so well? Other than in regime. He have everybody, he have fitness
doing
training,
other things for him.
Cook. And just focus on training hard and just tunnel vision and just perform. You get me? I say, just perform. So, yeah, man, my cousin come and live with me and tough and, deal with the cooking and thing and, and then my mother used to come every now and again.
Okay.
In Jamaica.
So they started calling you Judas, but you still had a good. I mean, I guess when they start performing, everything changed.
No, I'm not playing no more game, man. When they start saying, I'm a serious youth, What's because I know say me no Judas? You don't need to listen enough, man. Remember saying, once you go on the field, you go do well, them always like a run behind, So you can't make them upset your head.
So you chose not to play?
Like that.
When they went back to Preston, they didn't play?
Didn't play because the atmosphere wasn't well enough and Billy Davis and Craig Brown was looking after me because they know the situation. They know that me want to leave. And the club decided to sell me. But the club not going to say that because they know what the fans doing for them. Pretty much I put it on me. So the gaffer was looking after me because the gaffer loved me like a son. Which manager you know never love me and management? Them say that troublemaker. Which manager you know they love me?
Who say no, man? Nobody say a troublemaker, man. Who say a troublemaker?
A lot of Jamaicans have the same managers, man. Because
we don't reach it. Listen, here's the problem. Here's the problem, no. We don't even reach the Jamaica.
No, but we have to tell you from now. I'll show you something point. Why do you think Craig Brown look after me? He could have easily throw me in the fire and say, go and go play. I'm off to go play because I'm signed to the club. Unless I pull one and say me injured. You get me, I say? But me have to talk facts, because I'm like, tell you as it is, You see me, I say, because people that got truth and facts. You see me? Nothing can beat the truth, You see me? So, what happened now, so bam. The other side now, I read up said to Milan Mandela through old Portsmouth, listen, if you don't sign Ricardo Fuller, I'm resigning. So I read up tell the owner of Portsmouth that. If you don't sign Ricardo Fuller, that's why those managers are always forever grateful.
Oh, Harry Redknapp told them that?
Yeah. If you don't sign it, so that's how they come up with a pay-as-you-go deal. So we end up go back to Portsmouth. That's why we never play the game for Preston. Like a week or two for me return back because I already tell the owner, so listen, if you don't sign him, I pack my bag and me gone. Again, and Milan Mandarich, the owner post at the time, rate Aaron up and love himself to know. All right, we will sign a deal. So we have a pay-as-you-go contract. So basically, we're supposed to get like, say at that time, say 20,000 or 30,000. Then they give me, say 15,000, appearance, and then basic 15,000. You understand? So if we don't play, we don't make up the 30,000.
Oh, okay.
If we then at the starting team, if we don't train at the starting team, then we only get 15,000. But if we play every match, once we change, we get my 30,000. You understand what I say? You understand? So I pay.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. That's how the pay zero contract coming.
And that was for 1 season.
No man, I signed for 2 seasons.
2 seasons, and that was the same contract for 2 seasons.
3 seasons I signed for.
At Portsmouth.
3
and that was what the contract was for the 3 seasons at Portsmouth.
Yeah, for the 3 seasons. But by the end of the first season, so I scored 1 goal in that solitary season for Portsmouth. Because remember, I had problem, not blame anything, but injuries was always. Knee was swelling up at training. I tried to manage it, couldn't manage it. I had lots of penalties, but at that time, Yakubu was taking the penalties. Me as a young man coming into a team like that,
yeah.
You know, now I got big. Me can't just, like when me have my power at Stoke, if me get foul, me take my penalty. But then at Portsmouth, if me get foul, Yakubu take all the penalties. Because he was the penalty kicker. And certain things like that. So that season went on. The main thing is that we never get relegated, which was the main focus for Portsmouth at the time. It's not being relegated. We survived way before the season finished. I finished with 1 goal. I only scored 1 goal that year in that season. And then I Redknapp moved from Portsmouth to Southampton, remember?
Yes. You went to Southampton?
He brought me with him. He said, Rick, he take me a Nigel Quasi. Because he love us too, because I guess he love the way we play. Yakubu went to Everton, I think, and Lua went to Newcastle. So basically, he took me and Nigel Quasi to Southampton. I could have said no, but the director of football that came in, a Serbian guy named Zajec, he came in from Serbia as a technical director, and I Redknapp didn't want to be undersea by a technical director. So you have a technical director, they have a head coach.
Right.
I don't want to be under no man. So that's how we moved to Southampton. Southampton just got relegated from the Premier League. You understand? And they want Redknapp to bring them back up. So Redknapp said, come in for me and say, okay then, come with me. And want me to come with me. So I said, fine, because Zayed said to me, boy, I'm not going to play me if I'm going to bring in his players. Because when a manager come in, they bring their players in. And that's how professional footballers can be a lot of times. New manager comes in, unless you prove yourself and you get the time to prove yourself, you might bring in a film player and you might not see another game. You understand? Until them ship you out. So I didn't wait on that because once the manager tell me that, at the time with my situation with my knee, keep flaring up and swelling up. Remember I had a ACL, I had a fusion done on the ACL because it was 75% torn. It wasn't completely torn on my left knee. And on the right knee, I had a arthroscopy. So I had to clean up top. So that's how I feel initially going to Portsmouth. So basically, I was struggling with my knees. But those struggles helped me to manage over a period of time, helped me to be able to manage. I learned how to manage myself. I manage my training. I manage my knees. You know, we don't have to do surgery. I wish it would have cost me another 9-10 months. You know? So when I moved to Southampton now, I had a great season there as well. I Redknapp, after about 3 months or 4 months, moved back to Portsmouth. Remember that?
Yeah, he moved back. Right, he left Southampton.
I left me and Nigel Quasi Southampton. I know, so the fans them start killing with because it's not easy. Remember, those are derby teams. It's like Celtic Rangers. So Southampton Portsmouth is like a derby match. You understand? So it's not easy for a player to jump from Portsmouth to Southampton or from Southampton to Portsmouth. Much less we jump from Portsmouth to Southampton back to Portsmouth. You get me, I said? So anyway, I stayed there. Initially it was tough because I say I had problems, my knee was flaring up. And I ended up dropping out the team. Kenyon Jones was there, ended up dropping out the team. Went on loan to Ipswich with Joe Ryle because when I Redknapp left, what's his name? His name, manager from Scottish manager. Whoa. I don't even want to remember his name because he's He's one of them. I don't want to say the word right now, but yeah. Anyway, you get my point.
Yeah.
George Burley. So George Burley took over after Arena, and he's all farts. Anyway, excuse my language. Anyway, so yeah, dropped me on the team, said, not going to play me. And me being me, I want to play. I hate not playing. I cry when I'm on the bench. I cry when I'm in the squad. So anyway, Joe Ryle always liked me. Joe Ryle tried to sign me when he was manager at Man City, and I was at Preston. But it never materialized. Preston accepted the bid from Portsmouth. The bid, that time, Man City wasn't Man City that time.
Yeah.
But they were in the Premier League though, under Joe Ryle, right? But they had the other owner before, not the
billionaire owners now.
Yeah, they didn't have the billionaire owners at that time, but they had the millionaire owner. I think from Thailand, or Taiwan or whatever. One of the countries. Yeah. So anyway, he wanted to start, it never materialized. So he was the manager from Ipswich. So he came in for a loan, wanted for 3 months, remained at the season. But I said no, only 1 month, because my parent club is really Southampton. I didn't want to leave Southampton. I didn't like Ipswich side. So I said just 1 month. Just to get me back some playing time. So anyway, went there, scored, I think 2 goals or 3 goals. I think it was 2 or 3 goals in 4 games. Yeah. Went back to Southampton was struggling. They were 18th in the table. Then they went 20 in the table. And because I start to score again, he called me back. Luckily, I didn't sign a permanent 3-month deal because they would have been relegated.
With
So
Southampton.
he come back from loan and scored, 7 goals in 9 games. Got player of the month, the last month, and scored 7 goals in 9 games. I mean, I transformed myself from getting booed because I came from Portsmouth as well and I didn't start so well and I was struggling with my knee. To every match, man of the match. For about 5, 6, 7 games, I get man of the match. Every game, them create song off of my name. And Southampton. That's not easy to do, coming from Portsmouth.
At Southampton.
At Southampton. That's not easy to do. So sing my name all the way through. And then we finished 10th. Respectable position. Because remember, Southampton is a big club, at the time. And so that's how the move now came about for Stoke.
Oh, so it was at Southampton that you moved from Southampton to Stoke, because Stoke was in the Championship now.
Yes, Stoke was in the Championship.
So when they moved to, all right. So why didn't you sign at Southampton? Stay at Southampton.
Remember a 2-year deal. Because
Okay.
they transferred my contract from Portsmouth to Southampton. Initially, I signed a 3-year deal at Portsmouth. I only played 1 season, so the 2 remaining seasons transferred to Southampton. Finish that season, so I have 1 more year left. 1 more year left, you can talk to anybody. You can move if the compensation or the fee is right, whatever. Yeah, so that's how I end up. And as I said, the manager didn't like it. He had a problem because he wanted to sign when he was at Preston for 6 million when he was at Ipswich in the Premier League. This manager, and then when we come at Southampton now, he have problems. Not that I wasn't disrespectful or anything. Not like that. Trust me, my football business is not about everybody love me in the club. Players, people, just regular people, staff. Nobody can say anything bad about me. Trust me, you can do your research. Nobody can say anything bad. But I guess his hands was tied and he wanted to get rid of so-called players who was on Premier League money at the time because they were in the Championship. They tried to reduce the wage bill because at that time a lot of players didn't have any details on the contract say that once the team go down, they have to take a pay cut. There was no clause to say that was the case. So what they have to do is trying to put you on the bench, put you in the starting team, take you out, them trying to push you out. You understand? That's ways that all professional sports run. You understand? So try to push me out and thing, and it end up almost backfire upon it because if we never signed a permanent 3-month loan there, then would have been relegated. And maybe would never come back up, you never know. You get me, I say? So luckily I did it. Anyway, fast forward back. Got on to Stoke. Pulis was one of the manager who always liked me. Every time I play against Plymouth, I used to score against him. He always used to come and, well played and pat me on the shoulder. And
this is like your overseas time, this is like the highlight of it now, Stoke City, because this is, I mean,
Yeah, Stoke City would be the highlight, with all honesty, because of all the successes there.
Right.
Across the time and the accolades, personal and collectively.
Yeah.
So Pulis liked me, and Mr. Pulis liked me, and he was always a manager. I scored against him when he was at Plymouth and when his first stint at Stoke, because he did 2 stints at Stoke before. And I scored against him on each occasion, and he liked me as a player. And he decided to acquire to have me in Stoke. And I had a few players before which I played in Southampton already here at Stoke. Danny Gimbaton, Rory Dillap, and Kenwin had played before up here before I came. On his loan when he was on loan up here at Stoke. So, and Kenwin was with me at Southampton. So it was kind of easy for me to settle in because I had players which I'd played with before here at Stoke. So scored my debut at Stoke against Charlton, my old club. Even though we lost that game 2-1, I scored on my debut. And
you celebrated?
Of course I celebrated. I'm playing for Stoke City. I'm not one of them who said, I play a team respect. Yeah, respect is always there, but once that whistle goes, it's a team where I'm playing for, who I contracted to. That's the team I'm fighting for. And that's the team I wish to. Of course, I will celebrate. Yeah.
All right, here's what, no, because we are at 1 hour and 36 minutes and we have 2 hours. Because the people that want you to talk about specific time at specific, we never touch national teammate and campaigns and all of those things.
All right,
and we just only have watches. We only have 24 minutes. So I don't know if you want us to do a part 2 where you can
focus. No, but we can't link with the specifics, man. It's specifics. You can't finish our question. Because it's just specifics now. The other part's easy, all of those things are in the long thing. Again, what Stoke don't know, Stoke was basically a lot of success in a 6 year at Stoke. First season,
goals?
50 goals in 208 games. So that's like basically 1 in every 4, something like that. Slightly over 1 in every 4. And
they see you they see as a legend at Stoke because you're still a legend at Stoke. They have a song there for you as well.
Many songs. I'm my town, man. I'm my city, man. Most clubs, 9 out of 10 clubs, have been a success with all the injuries and no bragging or not being arrogant or anything like that. But it's just the fact and it's just the truth. People have to know that.
Were you on the radar of any team when you were at Stoke? Like any team wanted to come in for you and you decided to stick with Stoke?
What about team? Chelsea, Mourinho love me. Always I come. That's why I make Ivanovic try to kick the hell out of me when I play and I stamp on him. I last made and stamp on him and pick up a red card. Because he knew I was the danger. Arsene Wenger loves me as well. I mean, I said just a shame I was getting up in age and I had so many injuries and every club I've been to, I didn't pass America. The manager either has to just want to sign me, or go through hells and leaps and bounds to sign me to make it possible. And that was just the truth. And that's why I didn't end up playing for bigger clubs. Because of injury decimated my career. And that's been the story of my life. But I never look at it and said, I keep going. And I achieve all that I achieve. So I had 208 games at Stoke, 6 years, scored 50 goals. I had player of the season every single season up until the last one when I've been cheated and kind of fell out with the club. That back then. Everything nice now. I'd goal of the season for 5 seasons. Well, it should have been 6 again. 6 seasons. I mean, all the personal accolades and collective accolades. Got promoted in the second season to the Premier League. I was leading goal scorer, 15 goals, about 15 assists as well as scoring goals.
You guys had a good run in, I think, the FA Cup or one of the
seasons. Went to the Wembley 2010 FA Cup finals against Man City. I was injured that game. If I was playing, I would win that. Trust me. I would have won that because I always score against Man City. And also, Kenwin had 2 chances before. Yaya Toure scored that goal, 1-on-1.
To knock you out. That is true.
If Kenwin scored one of those goals, we win because Man City afraid of it. You understand? Man City afraid of it. Trust me. And,
did he ever play against? Right.
Yeah, went to FA Cup finals 2010, runners up. I ruptured my Achilles 2 weeks before the finals. I ruptured my Achilles. That's the story of my life against Aston Villa. We played it, went to the UEFA Cup as well. I scored in the UEFA Cup as well against Besiktas in Turkey. So I scored. I think I was the first Jamaican to score in Europe. I'm not sure. I don't know if Bibi scored before. I don't know if Bibi scored. But Bibi played in the UEFA Cup.
I don't think Bibi scored in the Europa Cup before you.
I think he played though.
Yeah.
So anyway, I scored in the UEFA Cup against Besiktas in Besiktas. Played against Valencia in Mestalla. We lost 1-0. That was a game. Jesus, I was blowing in that game. That was a game, and the stadium was just different class. The atmosphere was just wow, honestly. So some great memories at Stoke. Unbelievable. We never get relegated yet in my career. Went to after 20. I did 6 years. So 2012, I left to. They didn't renew the deal because of whatever reason. Sunderland came in, and the deal was messed up, and came back. So I ended up following up with the club because of all the nonsense that gone on. The rest is history. So after that, we went to Charlton. Finally get to play for Charlton now. Signed a 2-year deal at Charlton. After I left Stoke at 31 and a half, 31, because signed for Charlton 2 years. Played, then went to Blackpool. Played scored leading goal scorer for Charlton as well in the first season. Went to Blackpool. Went to Blackpool for 1 season, and then went to Millwall for 1 season again.
Whoa!
And then that was it. Yeah, that was.
Oh, so you actually ended your career at Millwall?
No, I ended my career I did retire from Millwall. Then came back out of retirement for Oldham for 6 months. David Dunn got the job as player manager for Oldham. David Dunn is my friend from Blackburn. When I'm at Preston, David was at Blackburn. So we used to hang out together. So David got the job as player manager and asked me to come and help him out with the team, keep the boys them in line in the dressing room. So I was there, like keeping them in line. So I came for 6 months 6 months contract. Just keep them. We avoid relegation, which was the aim again. Then retire again, and then came back for the 8th year. Yeah, I wanted my son to see me play because he was now of age now. And I came back for Nantwich in the 7th year, English football. And I was doing my badges as well, so I was helping with my badges while I was getting sessions in. Because at the time when I was playing, I wasn't one of them who could multitask. Like,
you just focus on your footballing career.
I was supposed to focus on just straight play. So while I was what 30, I was come back from Nantwich, I was 38. So I was still playing at 38, 39. But that was the 8th year, so I was still scoring goals. I was at like the first season I had 8 goals in about 17 games, so I was still scoring goals.
So how many goals in total you scored in England in the leagues?
I think overall, including all those teams that I mentioned, 137. I think I'm the most. I have the most goals from Sterling, Mr. Lindy De La Pena. I think he had the most before. I think he had 120 or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you are the Jamaican.
Yeah, I have the most goals in English football.
Meaning one born in Jamaica, because you probably have other persons like.
Obviously, not John Barnes or Ryan Sterling.
Yeah.
They don't play for Jamaica. They play for England. Okay. But born and bred in Jamaica and play overseas, like Mr. Lindy De La Pena.
Man. All right. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Garnet Denton, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. And then we're going to take some questions because, like I said, I don't know how this is going to work. But it says, Manins, ask the general what happened in that game versus Chelsea that he got the red card.
Yeah, man, I mentioned it in the conversation a while ago. Mourinho had a game plan to just had Ivanovic just kicking me. I remember I just came back from an Achilles surgery from 9 months, and he was kicking me on that leg. If you notice, is the left leg when he kicked me on it. He fell over. I was riding the challenge, and what he did is him using studs to stamp on my Achilles. And because I know it's on that area, I reacted. I lost my head and reacted the wrong way and stamped on him. as well. And obviously, if you do that, you know it's a red card. So that's what happened in that game. Mourinho came up with that game plan. That's Mourinho for you. He's always want to have the advantage by upsetting the team with his opponents in any way, shape, or form. And he knows that I am the danger man for Stoke at the time. And a lot of things was coming through me. So he knows if he had his defender to upset me, there's a possibility that I would react. And oftentimes I would get myself in trouble. So that's what happened there. And,
okay. This person is asking who are the better goal, him or Henry, and he's talking about, he says down here that the question, it was a goal similar to Bergkamp. Who are the better goal?
Against Aston Villa. Well, I'm always going to say me, Terrorized, me, I'm a ball and I'm a general too, but and, you know, I'm a Bridget, because the man they rate me and rate me as blacks, you know, as black people, you know, because, you know, the man they look up to you as well and give you strength, because it's not easy sometimes when they play and it's rough. But yeah, the man they give us a lot of credit, so I'm a general, but I'm about to say my goal for sure, because when you look at it and if you argue the goal, you can see Dennis Bergkamp was kind of a stop. He was already fixed, while mine I was on the move, and for me to keep my balance on 360 wasn't easy. Even though Dennis Bergkamp's skill wasn't easy either. So yeah, it was a great goal. Both goals were great goals, but I'm gonna pick myself and I'm gonna back myself, of course.
Yeah, the other question is because many people, including me, always wondered, this man was, mashing up thing every time we watch him in England, but never seemed to score as many goals for Jamaica. In fact, many of us think like the campaign, like one of the campaigns that we should have qualified after 98 was a campaign that a lot of expectations were on you, right? What happened with your form in Jamaica's football?
Well, that's true. I could have and should have scored a lot more goals. And maybe I think the only problem with me is probably that I wasn't ruthless or selfish enough. If you look at most of the games that I play for Jamaica, I'm usually the provider. You know, I'm not taking away anything away from my teammates. I had opportunities, but for some reason this didn't come off. I tried. Trust me, I tried, because you know if you look at most of the games, even when I don't score, my performance was always up there. But as a striker, you get mark and scoring goals, and I never did enough of that. And I could have and should have done, but that's one of my weak points for my national team. Other than that, I don't think there's any other more than scoring goals. But as a striker, yeah, as I said, that's what you get marked to do. It's just unfortunate, but I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and blame any other thing, because I always like to blame myself. You know, and as I said, I needed to be more ruthless and more selfish. And also, like how, you know, playing for Stoke, when I get my fouls or my penalty, I go and take them, and I score 9 out of 10 of them. Maybe my goal tally would have been a lot different. All those goals I scored, none of them were penalties or free kicks. And I used to make a lot of other people take them. And I said I needed to be more ruthless and more selfish. And as strikers, you have to be like that. So I take full responsibility for that. And it's just a shame, because arguably I was different class coming up through the ranks for Jamaica, and for whatever reason.
Because one of the things as well is you had a Jamaica team with some of the same under 20 and under 23 player, Claude.
Yeah, not really. Just a few players, because at that time was a lot of the players during my under 20 team. They got thrown out the bus, because when Simoes got sacked, all Simoes thing that he was doing and things that he put in place was thrown out the window. And that's the JFF for you. If they had kept that group together, regardless of Simoes being there or not, we probably would have qualified for that, because I would have known those players. The chemistry was already there. The togetherness was already there, and the cohesiveness is already there. So I couldn't play the football with my eyes closed, with a blindfold over my eyes. I know what Atal going to do. I know what Kevin they're going to do. But as I said, a lot of those players were in that squad at that time.
Yeah, people, if you don't know, Atal is the same player they call Betty.
Yeah.
That's what they used to call.
It was a bad midfielder.
Bad midfielder.
But all those talent go to waste. Because when
he is a waste of talent, I am telling you.
Yeah, but sometimes you can always you can blame the players or you can blame, but half of the blame has to go to people who was in charge of these young talents. Remember, these are still kids. They will make bad decisions, but as people, leaders who is in charge of these groups, why you think Belgium is the best as number one in the world now? You know how long that group been together? Belgium actually skip a World Cup to actually put that team together. Look at all the teams doing well. Look at England now. You know how long this England group been together?
Yeah, that's true.
That's how you develop or you create cohesiveness, togetherness, and playing. These players know where to pass the ball without even look. We don't have that for Jamaica, and that's been a long time our problem. Samoa's left, that was the biggest problem. So a lot of these players was trapped. So anyway, those players I say I played with, a lot of them was older players from the big group.
Right.
A mix with some of the best ones coming through. You know, and that's it. But I mean, as I say, it's no excuse whatsoever. I mean, we get mark and scoring goals, and I didn't score as many for my country as much as I would like, trust me, as I would like and could have and should have done.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, and what part of your Jamaican career you thought like this was the best time playing for Jamaica? Was it yeah.
Well, the senior years was the best time.
What period of the season?
Traveling to Brazil and camps.
What period of the season? What period though? Was it the latter part or the middle part? Because you were part of that team because Austin shared a story about the Gold Cup. You were a part of that Gold Cup team, and I think what he was talking about the Gold Cup that he was the captain. You were not a part of that.
No, I wasn't part of that team.
Right, you weren't part of that.
No,
but any tournament that you remember that, I mean, or a qualifying round that you thought like, listen.
The qualifying round, the second to last one, I remember. I mean, we won the last. We needed to win the last 3 games, and we did that. But I think we were edged out by 1 point. I think we had a bad start, but the last half we really push on and we beat every team. I scored that goal against Mexico in the stadium as well.
In 2008.
That was we won every game. We beat Canada, we beat Mexico at home, and those are highlights because remember beating Mexico team other than Ian Goodison scored that goal for 98. We never beat Mexico before. I mean, USA was still our Achilles heel at the time. But we did well against them and that qualified. But I mean, all my periods playing for the national team from the start to the end, because even at the start, I left straight from the under 20 team straight into the senior team camp in Ghana. You understand? And straight from the under 23 Pan Am games, straight again into the senior team we went to Scandinavia tour. I mean, I get some bad beating, learning curve again. So everything that happened made me the person I am today. All those experience, the 9 loves, the 6 loves, the 3-1 beat El Salvador. I think it was the first time we beating El Salvador. El Salvador we win 3-1 in El Salvador. I think it was in a qualifier as well. I mean, beating Honduras, beating Mexico. Those are highlights. I mean, personal highlights. Yeah, the ultimate goal or game would have been to qualify for the World Cup, and that's one of my downfall or mishaps, to be honest. So. But all of my period playing for the national team is a joy and an honor to do that, as always. I mean, there's so many players never even get the opportunity to grace the football field playing for the national team or put on that jersey. And as well, a player like me who would career been decimated by injuries. I never once blamed injury, and I could have easily blamed injuries. I played with injuries. I played with pain throughout my career, played for club and country. I never once blamed that. I keep going. And I just take every eat that come my way, because at the end of the day, once you go out there, you're good enough to play. Once you accept that you go out there, you're good enough to play. So don't come and blame nothing else. So, but it's an honor and a joy and a privilege to play for my country.
Yeah, man. I think that's an important message. I mean, just listen to some of you guys who have played overseas. I think a lot of the younger players, I don't know, you probably need to have some mentorship group that some of you guys talk to them, because I don't think they're. Yeah, I don't know, man. If they understand sometimes the fight that is needed to survive at the highest level and to keep performing. Just listen to your story, and a lot of Jamaicans know that you would have gone way further if it wasn't for injuries, but you didn't allow that to stop you.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I have James Beattie came at Stoke when we got promoted. I had a good answer came at Stoke. This player played at Barcelona, Southampton, Everton, season England international, Icelandic international, and they all thought that they would have got my game. None of them could take my game. None of them. You understand? So that's why you have to believe in yourself. No matter if you have injuries, you have played with injury, you have managed injury. Once you decide to go on the football field, you have to decide, so you have to do it. Because remember, it's what we have a saying, and the saying is true. It's hard to get to the top, but it's even harder to stay there. I've managed to do that over my career with all said and done with injuries and that. Failed medical, never passed a medical, grass, knees, this, that. I have still managed to achieve all that I did. And no knees, no spine, that's what they say. But I still managed to achieve all of that.
All right, I'm going to take some of the comments let the people told me, and then they can answer some of them.
No problem.
Some of these questions. They said, ask him if he would be up to serve as a striker coach for the national team if asked.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm actually have 5 games left to complete my UFB coaching badge, so I can't wait for that moment. So nobody has an excuse to say that I'm not qualified. So regardless of not qualified or not, I would have loved to be amongst the group, even though
5 more days.
5 more games.
Games. Oh, you'll be complete. You'd have completed your B license. You have a B license.
Yes.
Whoa.
So you get 12 games to do. So 6 games with analyzing the team that I'm working. I'm working with a college team, Alsager College. 6 games to analyze over the 4 corners of football, the 13 players or 11 players, whichever numbers you choose. The 4 corners of football is psychological, social, technical, tactical, and physical. So it's 4 corners. So Jamaica need to revisit. For Jamaica need to be Jamaican qualified, we have to revisit those areas again. Because this thing,
you know what? Andrew Edwards and we do a program every Friday at 10, and he talks about those pillars as well. Yeah.
Andrew, a good guy. Properly.
Yeah. All right. I mean, there are so many comments.
Yeah, man. I would love to be a part of the coaching staff, even now, as we speak. While I'm acquiring my UFB coaching.
Yeah, because someone is asking if you'd be willing to come help Jamaica qualify for 2026, which you have answered.
Absolutely. My country is everything to me. You know that I'm in Jamaica every single year. From I've been a professional, from I've signed there, from I was 19, I've lived there in England more years than I've lived in Jamaica. I've always come back every year to help out my country. I would love to. Absolutely love to.
All right. Asking the strike. I think we asked that one already. This one says, yeah, man, he answered that already. In an administrative role, no, he want coaching. He did say want to be a coaching role.
Well, I don't mind the administrative role because I've learned a lot. I mean, being here, as I said, I learned a lot from my agent as well. He has done a lot of wrongs, but you still can learn off bad people. You understand? You still can learn off good people. You know, so everybody doesn't know everything, but some people know some things, and you can learn bits and pieces from everyone, you know?
All right,
so I know the game. I know that side of the game well enough to a certain extent. Yes, so I would love any role I can help the national program. I will be willing to. You know, just as Samuel Eto'o doing now in Cameroon, as the Cameroon qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, and Senegal also. Yeah,
exactly. And Senegal, who's that player? That's my teammate. And if I show you a picture now, that's my teammate. You know, I used to play with him at Portsmouth. He used to take my reggae CD. Then he couldn't wait to get hands from the reggae CD. Then hey man, my partner in crime, me and him. I used to see so.
Yeah.
He was my captain of Portsmouth.
Yeah.
So I would love to, in any role possible, to help the country. I mean, we need massive help. I mean, we have massive problems. And as I said before, in many articles I've done with the Observer and the Gleaner, we have to have a total reform. That's the only way we're gonna get this thing right.
And that's your views on football presently.
Politics can't mingle with football. Once you have that, it's gonna cause in-house fighting. If you have in-house fighting, you cannot achieve nothing. And we have been going through that for the last 20 years or so.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. I like what you're saying because what I love is that people don't criticize only, find the faults, but are willing to be a part of the solution, which is what I love to hear. But Yeah, I'd love for you to understand me once the opportunity is presented. I'm glad that you'd be willing to be a part of it. But I mean, what do you think about? And I know there's discussion now about the present head coach, the possibility of him being, on long term and stuff. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that and the players that we have? Like, I mean, what should be the move now? Should it be rebuild fully or rebuild? I mean, how do we go forward from your perspective?
Well, one thing for sure, being Papala being the head coach or not, we're gonna need him in some level or for the program at some level.
Yeah.
Paul is a development coach. He's been doing this thing at QPR under 23s, I think under 18.
Yeah, under 23s, yes.
Yeah, he was doing this thing. Very good guy, very nice guy. Knows his stuff because he wouldn't be in charge of under 23 in England. Trust me, that doesn't come easy. So he knows his stuff, and he can say there's hope and there's signs. The last game before the Canada game, played very, very well. Should have won that game 6 clear goal easily. Never managed. We drew that game. The Canada game wasn't a true reflection because of a lot of the players wasn't stronger players or the better players. No disrespect to the players that were sent out. It's experience for them. We get that. I know that. Wasn't there. So it was that true picture of what could be or what that result could have been. But we're going to need, in some capacity, we're going to need Paul in that because he's a development coach. And that's what we need right now. We need to start developing certain kind of age group, revisit, as I said, the 4 corners of football, or technical side, the tactical side, positioning. As you can see, there's a big problem with that from our local players. And even so, it messed up the rhythm for a lot of the players in terms of the overseas-based players as well. They're having problems with that. And the cohesiveness, just calling a squad, is not only about calling a squad, it's about calling a squad if everybody can play together. You cannot just call a squad and this player can play with that player. You're gonna upset the chemistry of the team. Flow of the team. Yeah? And that is why we are going to need Paul in some capacity. Whether that be a head coach or not, I'm not sure right now because it's still early days, but yeah, we need to revisit the 4 corners of football and we need to start with a group that we can look at for the next World Cup, and we need to start immediately. As well as keep on a lot of these players who have been doing it because you can't just throw away all the experienced players like the Robin Morrisons and the Mariapas. You have to keep them in because you have to keep them in so that they can carry these young ones through who deserve to be in the squad. We don't just call a Jamaican because he's a Jamaican and he might play 2 balls in the Manning Cup or in the Premier League and he might score 2 goals and say, yeah, a big ball of that. No, I'm sure your Gardner tell you and Rudolph tell you. You don't just call them on the team. They have to be good enough. They have to take the shirt off my back. Just like when Simoes give me the number 10, they take that and deal with that with pride. Jamaica never boo me or say nothing because they know they can angle it.
Yes, yes.
As Sir Alex Ferguson said, if you're good enough, you're old enough. You understand? So if a player is young and shows signs that he can play in the national team at a high level consistently, because that's what it's about, consistently performing at a high level, not here and there or every now and again, right? Then that player is good enough to play in the team, whether he's a local player or international playing for Watford or QPR or whatever team, or Tivoli or Harbour. You understand? Yeah. If you're good enough, you're old enough. They have to deserve to be in the squad. You understand? And we're going to need that. So we're going to need a mixture of experience and young player. We can't just throw away all of the players now who was involved in the last World Cup. The ones that's good enough with a good mentality and right attitude, because mentality and attitude is another thing we have to visit and take it very seriously. And that's oftentimes our problems. Local players, maybe not so much the English players because they understand it coming from a system where that is already still in them. I know that. I've experienced that. Understand? So I can say that on their part. But the local players need to understand a certain level. We would have touched on it. Billy Gardner touched on it. I've seen their interviews and they have touched on these things. These are things that's very important. Football is a package. It's not only one era or 2 era. It's a combination of things. Just like a division of labor. The midfield, the defense does their job, the midfield does the job, the striker does the job to create one product. to perform, to score goals, to call it victory. Just like in the industry. So different programs, different things have to come together to form one beautiful thing. The mentality, the attitude, the four corners of football, the hard work, we have to have that.
Yeah.
Technique, everything. So it's a lot of things.
Hey, you're gonna have to come back, You have to come back one of them days. I know you're busy when you finish something, but I'm telling you, because the amount of comments, you're gonna have to watch it and then you realize man is about to put up half of the thing there because they are too much. I can't, because
I will come back, man. I know, but man is, man, you know what? You know when I was ambassador of the school football program in Jamaica?
Yeah, right. They already
it was a shame I never signed. They never gave me a 3-year deal because all of these things I was saying, and they weren't
that
listening.
is true, because you're.
All
that
of these
is
things
true.
I was saying, I even tell them about video analysis, because credit to Justin Morin, who was the chief executive at the time, top man, top guy. Justin asked me to make inputs, and so I ended up with carrying 6 ballers to Stoke.
Right, to Stoke, yeah.
Because Justin asked me, what else can I do? And I said, I can't do this, Let me talk with my club and get them over. And Stoke look after them. Digital pay the plane fare, but Stoke look after their food, meals and accommodation and transportation. And Digital just sort out the flights and a few pocket money and stuff like that. But credit to Digital and stuff. But they should have made it 3 years, because you know what? I was organizing stuff to be in place. It's like video analysis, very important. After games, you go in a room, you watch videos, see a mistake. Why should you be there? No, you should be there. The ball was played to the left. Why weren't you covering? You show people the mistake. That's what we do in clubs. That's what every football nation does. And we don't do a lot of that. Even at club and Manning Cup level. Those things needed to be done, because you know why? These are the same players leaving Manning Cup and club level to go represent Jamaica. So by the time they go represent Jamaica, they understand how the game works. You can't have a player represent Jamaica and he don't know to position himself. When in transition, when we lose the ball, when we have the ball and we lose the ball in transition, how we going to get back? How we going to farm that blockade? What we going to mid-block, mid to low, high press, what we going to do? So it's a lot of things. That's why I said the combination of things. So if you're doing that at Manning Cup level, introduce that, all the teams, at least it's not so difficult when those players, if they're good enough, get to the international level.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. So we don't, what we may not need to do, we may not need to build an academy, but apply academy principles in the football.
Absolutely, because we don't have the money and the finance.
We don't have the money, yeah. A valid point that, you may not be able to build 100 academy, but you pick probably 20 schools. And in those programs...
You do it from training as well.
Yeah.
You build up a little stand with the stuff, and you have your man up there. We do like a video camera, just a video the session. And after, you go and you watch a game and you call the team and you say, no, you stop it there, you should be here. So player have an understanding where to position themselves when they're actually playing the next squad match or the next game. So it starts from training. And after every game, Saturday and on Monday is video section. And then who didn't play in the game, train most, and who played in the game, warm down.
Yeah.
There's a reason why England do well, there's a reason why Germany do well, there's a reason why Brazil do well, Portugal, all these teams, France, Holland, Belgium, all these things, because it's the same principle apply. I'm sure you hear probably Craig Butler saying a lot of these things. What he's talking is quite true.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, Leo Harton is asking, what about being an agent and help young players to get overseas contract?
I have done that. I've done quite a few and tried a lot of guys. Now I'm focusing on my completing this UFB coaching badge. That's what I really want to do. I feel I belong on the pitch or in some capacity help out in administration, because I like any side of the football. But yes, I have been doing that. Rudolph Fasting, it was my link for him and Darry Paul to get to. I'm sure he told you to Denmark.
You already went to Denmark. Hey, listen, man.
And then we have we have Nauman Campbell came here. Unfortunately, there was a problem with work permit and certain issues, so they couldn't offer him a deal. And 6 players came from the.
The same digital thing that you were doing.
Yeah. Well, what I did, I do it as an experience and exposure, but it's really for scouts to look at it.
But what I
You
can
have to
tell
go to
people,
the thing.
listen, when you talk to people and you hear about Ricardo Fuller, here's what you're going to hear. And I'll say this to Ricardo Gardner as well. If there's a talent in Jamaica that people talk to them about and the person is talented and they can do anything to help move them, I know that they will. So even if they are not official agents, whatever they can do, and that has always been their thing, they facilitate that kind of a thing once they are approached. And Bibi do the same, and Ricardo Fuller does the same thing. And that's one of the good things we have. But see somebody here saying, great interview management, big up Ricardo, thanks for your service with the national team, very successful career. And he's asking, what word of wisdom would you leave with a young upcoming striker?
John, thank you very much. Garnet Denton, right?
Yeah.
Man, thank you very much for that, man. No respect. What I would say, and I've always said it, I think this is how I've always said it from being appointed the ambassador for the schoolboy football program in Jamaica at the time. I've always said it. Talent is a basic requirement, right?
It's a talent.
So it's the mental toughness that will decide the real winners.
Yeah.
It's hard work. It's discipline. It's sacrifice. It's perseverance. Never give up. And it's the love of what you do, right? You have to have the skill and the will. But what Mannings, man? The will have to be stronger than the skill.
All right. Yeah, write that down and tell a young youth, the will must be stronger than the skill. That's the only way you're gonna succeed. You want me to repeat that? Yeah, man, you have to repeat that, man, because I want young strikers them to hear that, you know. Talent is a basic requirement. It's the mental toughness that decide the real winners. The right mentality and the right attitude. It's hard work. It's discipline. It's sacrifice. It's perseverance. And it's the love of what you do. You have to have the will and the skill. Or the skill and the will. But the will have to be stronger than the what? Skill. All right. There you have it. Whoa. Listen, we have to, when things nice, them say we do them twice. We have to do this. We have to do this again. We have to do this. Man, trust me. Jamaica don't know all that I've been through. Not even half of it. I know. I'm telling you. You think why fans? You ever hear any fans in all the clubs that have gone ever give me no disrespect? From the quick man all the way up to even the owners them. Hey, listen. All right. Watch imagine if I was a white player. No, man. But I'm telling you, when I'm away, right, I have met. But we don't put race in it. You understand? We just I'm going to tell you this. I just certain things. I would just go and keep it going same way. I'm going to tell you this, right? Overseas, I meet people and Stoke fans. And you know, your name come up as like when they talk, I say, you understand me? I didn't ask them, you know, but I think they figure that I'm a Jamaican, right? Yeah. And they start saying, listen, you know, our biggest baller is a Jamaican. Your name come up. These are white people. The fans everywhere give me the love, man. The love and respect. It doesn't seem it was matched by the people of decision makers, because I wouldn't leave Stoke. My original plan was to retire at Stoke, go straight into the coaching staff or administration, scouting, whatever, and bring through a lot of Jamaican. That was my aim. That's what I always wanted to do, because I always want to give a Jamaican a chance, because I know what it is like being a Jamaican coming up. So my aim was to finish my career. You know, the gaffer Tony Pulis promised me that, but unfortunately, people have decisions just didn't see that same thing, and you know, it's a shame, because that was the aim, that was the plan. Demar Phillips was at Stoke. Was at Stoke. Who you think made that possible? Yeah, that is true. Yeah, right. Rudolph Austin did mention you. Yeah, when he was going through a rough time as well. Kieran Bernard was at Stoke.
He played with Rudolph in the under 20. Kieran Bernard was at Stoke. He went to play for Aston Aztecs, who then became Orlando City. He was at Stoke. He lived at my house. Look after him. He was on trial here. Who made those possible? That was my aim, because I wanted to see a lot of Jamaicans come through.
Yeah.
I know I know how much that would do for them personally, their family, their friends, and inevitably the economy, inevitably the country.
Yeah.
Something for these guys to do. They can be somebody. And everybody are going to be academically bright. Some people have talent, and maybe they can achieve something from it, and then they can go on and bring themselves to school and get up to speed or whatever. And you never know. But that is my way of thinking. So as I said, the rest is history. We still have time. God's willing. We'll try our best to make things possible for us.
Man. Yeah. And people, listen, I promise you, and I can tell you this, like you need to know some things. If Ricardo says he's going to do it, come back on the platform again, he's going to come on the platform again. So we will do that. I want to apologize to some of you because you made a lot.
You might have to vex with Ryan, because Ryan, I'm a good looking soldier. I like listening to Rudolph.
Oh, Ryan, him there, your
money. All of the guys, Ryan, a good boy still, but
see me here now.
He's good boy. No, I like Ryan, man. I like Ryan. Brother, the message remains the same. Now watch what nobody wants to say. Take whatever way you feel like. The message remains the same, and that's what's most important. All right? The message.
Yeah, man. But listen, the person asking about Betty, his current name is Atal Franklin.
Yeah, Atal Franklin.
You would not, if you don't know him. If you don't know him, you wouldn't know him, because he's one of those players who was so gifted that the system did not afford him the opportunity, maybe politically correct, to excel to the highest level.
No, it's true, but it's not all that in my mind. Let me give you a quick story with Atal Franklin. Not only say them drop those guys without giving them a chance or because these were guys that someone's put together to take over, eventually, just like what Belgium system set up on Germany and all those guys that was put together, right? Them have to.
Boy, look like battery die or something die. Oh, jeez. Oh, Lord. You see it? So we're not going to end it this way. I'm going to wait until he comes back, finish his point, and then we will close it out. Oh, here he comes back.
All right. Next time, the time I can run out. Next time we get that story.
Yeah. Because you can finish up and then close out, though.
Okay. So I pick up an ankle injury in the national under 20 team, and we are still up at the house up at Charlton, And I tell you, my ankle, normally, I'm not trouble with ankle injuries, but I know I get a leak in the training, and I tell you, I don't know where the ankle injury come from. I cheer out, come like the way my ankle hurt me, and my head hurt me too. And I tell you, the physio, night, the physio can't get the physio, I had to get some Voltaren rubbing. And I rub out, because them man don't leave me alone, I rub out my foot, I never know say a man can rub out the pain out of your foot. I think they would have to put my foot in a chaos the next morning. You see, I wake up the next morning, I run like a train. The man have team spirit, work rate, good attitude, technical ability, tactical ability. I remember say, me and people have ball about field and a moon about field. A boy still used to train on the gravel dust ball when we are 10, 11, and 12. And much better when I play Premier League. So me and man a ball about field at about field. Man tap on the nice and work on the touch, on the control, on the technical side on the game. What we talk about? And we are do it from them time. The people never do it from them time. Rudolph, Luton Shelter, May so rest in peace, Claude Davis, Jeremy Johnson. But all those guys. So you see, go work on things. Practice become permanent. Repetition.
Before Betty went overseas, I think my team was the last team he played on,
Which team? What, constantly?
No, man, look, because when I came back, I started to run a little team and build a little academy. Because I knew him from those times, and say, all right, he's going to come and give me a strength.
Yeah.
The man coming out in them Jordan, shoes, come play against the youth them in the league, you know.
No man, love it, man. You man Boota, you man God Boota. God Boota too?
Yeah, man, big kick up on the ball from
God Boota, where they come from now, center, man.
Yeah, man.
God Boota was in on our 20 team.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. But I'm telling you, people.
Shane Crawford from down at
Trelawney, yes.
What are that left footer? Howard. Trust me, our under 20 group. Simo is a reason why Simo was keeping that group together. If Simo's never get stuck, that group would have ultimately be the Reggae Boyz. And trust me, with all that talent and togetherness and cohesiveness and work rate, at trouble. Nicholas Macri, helmet, trouble. Oh yes,
people, I'm telling you, Betty, that is Atal Franklin, play in the league in a uppers Jordan, and nobody couldn't take him ball. That was a back end of career.
Trust me.
Just telling you.
Yeah, man, but it's an honor and a pleasure, man. Trust me. I mean, when I look back, I'm just marvel and I smile with myself to see how far I'm coming from. When I play for Tivoli, a $50 I'm used to get a week. And now, $50 a week to get a Tivoli.
And then you were supposed to be sold for 3.5 million euros.
Yeah, I sold for 1.35 first and I failed medical. And then Mr. Siaga won 3.5 million. Yeah, man. I went to, don't forget, I pay my penance, you know. So that's why I'm saying, no money can't grudge me a bad man, you know. I got Charlie and Holland, you know, when I was 15, you know. I got Charlie Holland with the Roda JC, you know, scored 2 goals in 3 games, and then said wasn't fit enough, you know, because it's 2 wasn't fit enough. Then people have youth system and develop youth system from a long time, Holland. And Mr. Siaga the same, Mr. Siaga did one that, 16 I went to Holland. And it never materialized again, come back. I go West Brom with Gary Mexon, scored 3 goals in a 4 game again. And the man signed Danny Dicchio from Queen's Park Rangers. And say, yeah, man, it's Freddie a bit my cousin, man. Because he's
that's some good stuff. I must tell careful link him up.
Yeah, man, I tell him, man, yeah. the man, Gary Mexon never signed me for West Brom, you know, when all the players, them, Jason, Neil Clemens, all the big players, them want things that Gary Mexon got signed me for West Brom, you know, the man never signed me, you know. So, I've paid my penance, I've gone through it. You get me? I said, I learned from each and single mistake I made, whether it be on the pitch, whether it be a bad tackle, a silly card, or whatever. I learned from every single moment and to arrive at this point now. So I pay my penance, and through all the injuries and all the ups and downs, I managed to achieve all that I achieved. It's nothing short of greatness for me. And nobody can tell me nothing otherwise. And that's how I know it. Trust me. No one give up. You will give up.
Are you disappointed in how your Jamaican career ended? Because it kind of ended abruptly. Like people didn't know that you would not be playing back for Jamaica. It just done like nothing. It just.
If I tell you what I go on, they say you wouldn't believe. Theodore Whitmore, man. Theodore Whitmore try to force me out. And when he do force me out, I'm gonna go Millwall and I start score. I'm gone 8 goals in 14 games for Millwall. I remember when them go I think at the Shell Cup finals, with Schaefer, Captain Burrell at the time called me and asked me for come back because I think Louis Graban saying can't make it again. And them I try to get me through them realize them pick up farm, them I try to get me for come back. I said, listen me, you can't come back and I already book flight to go take my family, go Paris, go Disney World, go take my son and my wife. I said, I can't go, I done book the flight already, boss man. And that's not only that, it's just the nature of how them do the things. If Grabber never say nah, go make it. When you try to put those guys before, one never come to me before. You have to wait till Grabber and say him can't make it, then you try to come like I'm just a feeling it for a moment. And I said no. Because I couldn't disappoint my family at that time. And I promised them that trip for a long time, and it, finally booked it.
And from that point, it
was just so bad because I felt so bad knowing that I want to play for my country and finish as high as possible. But it's just the way it is and the way they were doing things. It hasn't changed one bit up to today. This thing, and that's why we this mess.
Yeah, because from that time, from that whole Louis, I remember that. I mean, you never played back, you were never called back, you never had any interest.
The reason why I never called back is because I was smart enough to let the JFF know that my image rights is my image rights. I was the first one who did that. And then Brick.
Oh, because they tried to call you after that. And the
No,
image right.
they didn't call me after that because I tried to fight for my image rights. I told Bishop, rightly so. My image rights is my image rights. Did you still want to do a advertisement with me? I am supposed to get that. JFF is supposed to get that, and then that's not fair work. I don't fair work. You pay me for the match when I play. You get me? I said because me learn from being in England this long and know how contract works. You get me? I said because I've been involved in contracts.
So you're the first person.
Remember, you know, people don't like when people can't take it for fool. Them say you're a troublemaker.
Yeah? That's where the troublemaker come from.
Yeah. When them can't take it for fool, them say you're a troublemaker. Yeah, and I wasn't no troublemaker. I'm just standing up for my rights like Bob Marley. So I mean, what I did wrong. I said my image rights is my image rights. They must be man enough to accept that. That's the way it goes. I'm a professional football player. And I know that it's the ins and outs. You shouldn't be doing it to anybody anyway because that money is for that kid and for that person. You have family to feed. We have bills to pay, you know, and we have a responsibility to take care of our immediate family as well as sometimes extended and generation family as well with being Jamaican. We all know the history of being a Jamaican, you know.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's it. You know, that's
why would they? Anyways, your image rights. Whoa. Yeah, man, it was in papers before it, you don't forget it was in, I think it was on one of the interview that I did with Sportsmax as well. They were asking me the same thing. And I said, I mean, I wasn't the brightest person in high school, but I was an average student. So, you know, as I told you before, I always try to better myself in any way possible I can. And you know, I learn quickly. I try to learn quickly after every situation. I told you already, whether it be up or down, or negative or positive. I always try to learn from each moment because you can learn something from each moment. You don't have to, not because you're winning that, you're going to say you're rich, you can't bet this and you can't. You have to keep doing more and more because you can learn from every situation. Yeah, man, bless up. Brian, Ryan, he answered that question already. I know you're a Liverpool man. And you wanted him to play for Liverpool. But
yeah, man. Man, they love him, man. We always up Liverpool still. We always a score against them. Score against them Britannia. And we draw with them Anfield. Carragher try to kick out the hell out of me every time he catch a big team, man. Liverpool a big team, man.
So here's the final. These are the nice questions. You're going to football war. Which midfielder you're bringing with you? Forgive them clinical passes there.
Or for Jamaica or for my club?
I don't. You tell me. Tell me.
Me have been Liam Lawrence with me. Me have been Liam Lawrence with me for my club.
Tell me one for Jamaica and then one for your club for everything that I'm going to ask you.
Me have been Liam Lawrence with me for my club. Yeah. And midfielder. What me can see now?
Not hard.
I never play so much with Rudolph, but me still I go pick him because me always love when he play.
All right, Rudolph.
But me just never play a lot with him, and I wish I'd play more games with him because I think I would have helped him even more to be even a better player.
Okay.
Because I love to do that.
All right. What
about? I would say Rudolph and who else the midfield that I like?
Andy Williams, Jeremy, and you.
I didn't play so much with Andy or Bama, but they are different players. So I say War is a different player now. Jeremy is very technical, and enough respect to Jeremy, and you know that. But you have to have a man who can run for 90 minutes. That's a tackle and a pass and shoot. Jeremy, Rudolph win the ball. As it says, a team thing. But if you have a War, you have to have a player like Rudolph because he run and tackle and 100 miles an hour and he might run for 95 minutes and he go over the top sometime, but that's part of the game like Scholesy. Scholesy tackle and can't tackle and get red card. But
what about
scoring a goal, Bama, him have that. So I would say Rudolph and probably Fitzroy Simpson. Run and tackle everything.
Fitzroy Simpson. All right. What about which forward you want to go with you from country and club?
Well, I think I have a little bit more chemistry with Onandilo. We played together several times. Every time we play together, you know, we always win or draw. We win more than we lose. Let's put it that way. I have better chemistry. Really, the chemistry. Luton, I would love to say Luton. May so rest in peace, but Luton, we're similar, so we don't. Even when we play together, we don't have that cohesiveness because, you know, it's just that we're similar. We're too similar. We're too alike. And then the little compliment in many ways because it's different speed. You know, me and Luton's quite speedy, quite the same, love to dribble on the ball. So we're not balanced. So
you don't complement each other, yeah.
Yeah, we don't compliment each other. I'll say Anand the low.
All right.
No, may so rest in peace. Big baller still, but
yeah. But what about club? Peter Crouch, I don't know who.
No, man. Mama City, man. Crazy. Mama City all the way. I was talking to him on the phone when Mama City, man. Trust me. I could play with a blindfold over my eyes. Not because people don't, he's not a household name like James Beattie or Peter Crouch or Ida Goodyansson or Patrick Berg or, you know, trust me. The work that guy does, just like I said, down below, we complement each other. Why do you think Stoke have so much success? And none of them could unearth him. None of them could unearth him.
Yeah. All right, what about
play for a while, but yeah. Ida Goodyansson come play for a while. Mama City was still here. You get me?
Yeah. What about defender now? You know that, listen, you see when this man around the back, we can score one goal and know we're going to win. Club and country.
Abdullah Fai and Robert Hoof. I can't leave up now. I have to have two. Because we normally play two. We all play four at the back.
Okay.
So 5 and 6.
So who are the two for Jamaica?
The two for Jamaica would be Ian Goodison and Claude Davis.
And Claude Davis,
because
all right.
I play with these guys more than...
Yeah, man, this is who you play with, man. That's
fine. Tati, because they ware exceptional in their time, but I didn't play with them.
Yeah, you didn't play with them, yeah, man.
I didn't play with them.
Cool.
I played with Stupies and Pepe. And even though I probably play more with Stupies and Claude, I would say Claude and Pepe. No disrespect, Damian. Stupies, my brother, so it go. But you don't know. If it's a 3, then you'll be in the 3 for sure.
yeah, it's who you play with. Goalkeeper, club and all the clubs you have played with and Jamaica.
Thomas Sorensen for me. I know I played with Asmir Berkovic, but for my time and during most of my games, Thomas Sorensen from Denmark. I played for Denmark as well and Sunderland and Aston Villa, name a few. And then for Jamaica, who I played with? Yeah. He made Donovan Ricketts, no doubt. Donovan Ricketts.
I think he was the captain when he were in the team.
Yeah, man, no doubt. Yeah, man, no doubt. Big keeper, no doubt. Especially if he never had a much more successful career in England. I wouldn't expect him to leave. I to be honest, I would have expected him to play for a top 6 club. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened. But yeah, that's the expectation I have of him. That's how highly I rate him. As a person, as a key, and as a player, yes. All
right, the final position we're going to ask about is right back, left back, because you know when them go down there, them are going to find you. Somehow, some way, them are going to...
Oh my God, man. Robert Scarlett, man.
Look, baby.
It's a shame he never fulfill his potential.
Look, baby.
You know, say I make him get trial at Preston. He never tell him what. Oh, he never come on this. Ryan, I stick a song on Ryan program.
Yeah.
I engineer a trial for him at Preston, you know. And if I tell you the story, trust me, I'm going to give Ryan that story. That man is going to argue that story. I thought it belongs to Ryan because I listened to Robert.
Yeah, man.
I don't know why you be greedy about it, man. Don't worry, sir.
All right, cool.
You have the number now, say that forward. But yeah, little baby at left back. So I make him get a trial at Preston, which is a shame he never started. But I'll give you a hint. When Preston signed Claude, Preston came to watch him. But Calderon didn't play. Calderon played Claude and benched him. And that's how Claude got spotted. Claude performed in that game. And Claude got spotted. That's how Claude ended up at Preston. But after that, I let him come visit Billy Gardner, because I'm bona fide.
Yeah.
He come to England. And then I let him train in Preston for 2 weeks. But I guess by then, they probably had that
yeah. What about right back? Cause that's left back.
Right back. Who we have at right back? I'm trying to think who I played with. I want to tell you, so we played with several people at right back. We even played Tyrone Marshall at right back, you know. That's a bad right back, you know.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go with Zadie, Craig Zadie. He was fantastic. Level. He was comfortable on the ball. You know, he was solid. But I guess never had enough time.
What about at the club level now? What about at the club level? Rory Dillap?
No, Rory Dillap is at the right back. We have Andy Wilkinson at right back. We've had Robert Hood played at right back at times. Yeah. So we had Robert Hood and we had Andy Wilkinson. I'd go with Andy Wilkinson. He's solid. The man them Marco Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, and Rooney, you know. Ball, you know, and Van Persie, you know. Get a red card, you know. That's you, I'm tell you. Andy Wilkinson. Mark out them man, because when you play them, the gaffer used to just have him just have mark them. So anybody them going to be on the keys. Because you know, step purely to run for them strategy there. And them game plan there. And Ram, man mark out Ronaldo get yellow card. Ronaldo should get a red card, can kick. Turn on and kick the man off the ball. If I did that was a red card. Trust me. But Ronaldo did that, he get a yellow card. Rooney did the same thing to Abdullah Fight and he get a yellow card. So, Andy Wilkinson, the right back.
All right then. All right. So that's your team for the war. Good 8-9 players and thing, you know. So we'll see. We'll see.
Liam Lawrence and Marcy to be my partner in crime. We can't play that at Stoke. We can't play with a blindfold and make runs on the ball and find me. I know if we run go and pick up the ball from them. Trust me, we can't pass to them like. So you know when you have that, because you train together with them man, they feel much years, days, weeks, years, months, years, whatever. You understand? So you have that cohesiveness. That's how we had that thing. That's why, I mean, we are so comfortable in the Premier League. At 10 years, we end up doing it. Not many teams have done that in the Premier League. You believe that?
Yeah,
there's about 10 teams in total have done that. You know, look how much teams playing in the Premier League. Stoke is one of them. I will set them up on their way. Come on, quality guy.
Listen,
we never had that for Jamaica. That's the other thing I want to finish on. We have that cohesiveness for Jamaica without them chopping and changing the team. Trust me, we'll achieve so much more. So much more. Okay, I want that talent pass through Jamaica, but then keep chopping and changing the team for whatever means or however way it benefit them, people them in the administration. I don't know how that benefit them. I don't know, but why chopping and changing the team? You know, all the team can be cohesiveness and togetherness. If we have that, trust me, 98, that's how we qualified because we had that. We had that.
Listen, man, I'm telling you, I long to see. I hope in my generation I'll see some of your players who have gone on, had such good career, have your coaching badges. There is a way that you're integrated into the football in Jamaica to bring wholesale changes because there are so many of you with so many ideas and stuff. So much love for Jamaica. Could create a lot of leverage and network that I hope in my lifetime I get to see that because there are names after name after name that we can call. You understand me? But I mean, I'm so glad that you come on because people talk about you. They don't talk about Jamaica football and your name don't come up. But again, sometimes people don't. And I know you have done a couple of interviews in the past, but a lot of people don't get the opportunity to hear some of the struggles. So I'm so glad that you're able to share that because I know some young youth out there now probably hear something from this and realize that international football and professional football is not a bed of roses. You understand me? Like I said, the will has to surpass the skill.
Absolutely. Talent is just a basic requirement.
Because talent is everywhere.
Look how much players we have come to Jamaica who were so skillful, so bad, and they just fizzle out. You think they fizzle out because they didn't have the talent? They had the talent, but the willpower is just lacking. The willpower. Yeah. You have to have that, the willpower, that determination, that fight. Because it's just like, professional football, that's what it's about. It's just 10 months of the season. You probably have 1 month bad, so you have 9 months leave. What are you going to do? Prepare to have the other 9 months bad? No, you're gonna train harder and focus and concentrate and get tunnel vision and practice and study to go on to make the other 9 months better. You understand? And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
People have careers for 15, 20 years, 25 years.
Yeah,
Ryan,
so take the rest,
all these guys.
yeah. So just take the rest of the time because there are so many people. I mean, watching the video, I don't know if there's any, just to thank them, however you want to go to talk to your fans who are watching, who are on the video right now. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Manningsman, first and foremost for having me. It's a pleasure, and I accepted to do this interview because I want to share the story so others can hear. Your platform is an excellent platform to make that possible. So thank you for having me as well. To all the fans that's out there watching this and enjoyed it, hopefully. I speak from the heart, I speak from truth, I speak from facts. I try to remember as close or as much as I can remember. But I've had a long journey, and it was absolutely great for me. I wouldn't change anything, and I regret nothing, absolutely nothing, because it made me who I am today. So it's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to be on here to share my story, first and foremost. And thank you very much for having me, and look after yourselves, have a good night, and be safe with your families. I know it's a tough period we're still living in, but take care, and God bless everyone.
Yeah, man. God bless you. And thanks again for coming on. Really, really appreciate our conversation and our conversations. Yeah, that's got me. Just listening, you'll learn a lot. Can't wait for you to complete your coaching badges. And, know that, I hope your son can get a little bit more skill than you had. And
he's doing very well.
Yeah.
He's 10, but he looked like 12, and he's scoring a lot of goals. He's actually better at his left than me. Actually, it's his both feet.
There you go.
Right. Yeah, I was mainly strong on my right. Eventually, I get to use my left, but he's off the goal because I'm in practice sessions when I'm training him. I insist on him using his left as well because it's very important. And he's been leading goal scorer since he's on the under 7s, and he's now on the 11s. He's been leading goal scorer for his grassroots team. He actually trains in Stoke development under 11s right now. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he might move on to the academy. Under 12s, hopefully.
Yeah. And then here's what you can do. You can go back and watch the video and look at the comments, because honestly, I could not bring up. There were too plentiful. Yeah. So you can probably wait some time. Just watch pieces of it and look at it. Yeah, man. But thank you.
I watch a lot of the programs. Don't get me wrong. Coach's Desk. Google TV. Yours.
Ryan.
I am sure Ryan's. I watch a lot because in my spare time I like to keep abreast. I like to hear what people are saying. I like to listen. I like to have a knowledge, because I say, everyone doesn't know everything, but some people know something. You can learn something from everyone. Doesn't matter the standard of English. Doesn't matter if they speak French, if they speak German. The message remains the same. Just like in a football changing room, we have many different personalities, many different nationalities. But what? Football remains the same.
Yeah.
You get me? So don't get me wrong. I watch a lot of these programs. So enough respect to all you guys as well, the bloggers out there. Keep doing your thing. Should keep trying to make it better for the national team and for our players to do their best. And thanks to all my supporters, my fans, Mrs. Cook, Mrs. Cynthia Cook, Mr. Peter Hibbert, big respect, enough respect.
Yeah.
Manager for Camperdown. That man look after me. He was my manager, carried me to Holland as well. So, enough respect to Mr. Peter Hibbert. Absolutely love him to bits. Mr. Orlando Clark, may he get well soon. I know he's quite sick at the moment. He had a heart attack the other day. Hopefully everything will go well.
Yes, that's true. That happened when the football game was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get the procedure done. Make sure everything all right. We're working on that. So, Mr. Vernon Bell, Mr. Neville Bell, big coach. These with all these coaches and everyone coming together, I wouldn't be the player that I am today. Mr. Christopher Burnett, may his soul rest in peace. Them man of Mr. Burnett has carried me through from primary school, taught me a lot of things. He was well ahead of his time. Things that I'm even doing now, things that I even see in the under 10s, under 12s, under 13s doing now in England. Mr. Burnett is actually doing them already. Mr. Burtis Bell is doing them already. Mr. Vernon Bell doing them already. I mean, so it's enough respect to each and every one. My family as well. Oh my God, my uncles who used to make my jersey. By the way, my uncle used to sew my jersey, when I grew up, Uncle Barry,
Yeah.
Uncle Barrington Wilson, man. Uncle Barry used to make my jersey. My mother, we couldn't afford buying jersey. My uncle used to sew my jersey out of material. Time was a dressmaker. So he used to make my jersey them sharp. But yeah, man, the all primary camp, and man, all a thief my jersey. Say, yo, where you get the jersey? Next thing I got home, the girls are missing out of my bag. Yeah, man, so thanks to my uncle. They've been supportive, Edward Wilson as well, may so rest in peace, my other uncle. They can't tell them, man, nothing to me the greatest thing. And those things build confidence and instill belief in you as well. So when you hear people saying that to you, you believe you're the greatest. Even though you might not be the greatest, you believe, and from your belief, whatever you believe, it kill or it what? It cure. You understand? So those things, those words was important at that time.
Yeah, man. And see, look at Richie, because look at Richie just say big up the ball,
Radically.
Yeah,
man, boss, man, and for follow, I have to big him up too. I was just about to touch that. I was saying Chinka. So Chinka, I ended up following Chinka at Tivoli because I used to watch Rajic play and Chinka play. Chinka was a football player for Tivoli. Rajic know me at about. He died some stabbing incident in Tivoli, but he was one of the first players I tried to admire playing like. And then obviously when Rajic, then obviously Walter Boyd started watching Jamaica, and then Diego Maradona. I'm a as well, So Rajic is one of them where he's a pioneer for me.
Yeah, man.
Grew up wanting to play for Tivoli to emulate him and Chinka. Chinka was before Rajic, so yeah, man. So enough respect, Rajic. And trust me, the list is on and on and on and on. The amount of people was involved in my career. Success is never just one thing. Believe that. It's a combination of things. Good, bad, because sometimes the bad things happen to make you stronger. And sometimes you get disappointments, whether by getting dropped, but you should always use these things as motivation or as stepping stone to achieve success or achieve your goals in life. Don't just take disappointments or failure as failure and disappointment and give up. No. Use them as motivation and as stepping stone to achieve goals in life. And I have to give credit to Rajic, a lot of people. You have to emulate people. Trust me. And trust me, the amount of people here to thank is unbelievable.
Yeah,
the list goes on and on and on. But my family, friends, well-wishers, thank you very much. And I really appreciate everything. And thank you for
your wife, because you put up the ring and mention your wife yet,
Yeah, man, family, wife is part of it. Family is one big thing. Trust me, after I mention my family, would have been so much auntie, cousin, aunties in England, aunties in America. There's so many, because remember, as you growing up in Tivoli, you grow with your what? Generation family.
Yeah.
You have all uncle and cousin living under one.
Tivoli is one family.
4 or 5 cousins living in one in the house. It's 4 or 5 uncle, aunties.
Yeah.
So when I say family, I'm talking about everybody. My wife is a mother. She gave me my most beautiful gifts so far, which is my son Christian and my daughter Aria. So they are my pride and joy, and and their family as well, beautiful family. My wife's family, Christian people as well. Mrs. Auntie Rose Dietrich and Mr. Uncle Preston. Uncle Preston.
All right.
But so great people. So it's a package. It's a whole package.
Yeah, man. Somebody's asking, who is on the picture behind you?
Oh, that is me scoring against Sunderland. The header, we beat them 2-0. I scored the header against Sunderland. Rykin was the manager for Sunderland at that time. And then I have that's Village, Man United. Village.
Yeah.
And then
you beat them?
Yeah.
You beat them in that game?
No, we drew 0-0. And that's me and Liam Lawrence there. Stoke City just scored against West Ham, that solo goal score against West Ham. So that's me and Vidic there. Yeah, man, there's so much, man. It's so much. So much.
All right.
So much, trust me, so much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I have a picture of Gareth Southgate as well. Let me see if we can get it. Yeah, man, as my baby, you know, the soft soup. So all you see, say, at Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate I try to tackle me. I'm a baby, man.
Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, man, I'm a baby. See me? Captain Middlesbrough. I'm a baby, man. We beat them 3-0. Get 2 penalties in that game, man.
Gareth Southgate can't take your ball. Yeah, man, can.
I'm a big baller, but you have to show them so we can beat you, you know, because we have to have the belief and the confidence, because without that, we're nothing.
Yeah.
Because we're Jamaican and they might make it 2 and 3 and 4 times harder for us. We still have to make them know we can do it and keep doing it. You get me? Because remember, we have other kids who want to follow in our footsteps from Jamaica, so we have to set the way. We have to set good examples, you know, as Rudolph mentioned before and Bibi mentioned before, you know. But yeah, that's I used to see say that Senegal manager won the African Nation Cup.
Right? Yeah.
I used to say.
And qualify them for the World Cup.
Yeah, man. I'm a bonafide this man. He not left me a Portsmouth. I always want to make reggae CD there. Yeah, man. Take them out again. Yeah, man, enough, man.
Awesome. Hey, listen, you see any footballer, any of the talent in Jamaica in the last how much years that you think this one look like him have the skill, him have the kind of attitude like me, the flair like me to make it big time?
No?
Yeah.
I brought 6 players up, you know. I brought 6 players up. Lamar Walker, Norman Campbell, guy from Georgie striker. What's his name again?
Alex Marshall?
No, Alex, no, man. The younger one. When they lost that against Casey, the final the other day.
Shantamai Taylor?
Shantamai Taylor. And the left back for Georgia as well. He played for Portmore.
Emilio Rosso.
Oh man, what a player! It's just a shame. He was. I don't hear nothing more about him.
He's a captain for Portmore. Very strange. That's a whole.
How is his development going? Because I don't watch it. But I mean, those 2 players that I brought up, and Camperdown captain as well. Giovanni, Leng. Quality. Those 6 players, I chose them specifically, right? Take them to Stoke as a sneaky way of trying to get them a look in. So I call it experience and exposure. Because you have to know what you do, right? Because remember, you cannot just bring them in because they wouldn't get a work permit. But experience and exposure, people can come and see them. Scouts can come and see them. Clubs can come and see them. And a lot of people like them. Stoke, especially Lamar, Norman Campbell and Lamar Walker. But they all did well.
Yeah.
So I said Lamar, Norman Campbell, he did really, really well. He's probably one of the standouts. But as I said, a lot of them did good. But Norman Campbell is the one, I would say. But Norman is in Serbia, right? So
yeah, he's in Serbia.
He's not in Jamaica, but that's the one. That's the last set of players I know about from them.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of scuba football, and I know a lot of Premier League because of obviously obvious reasons.
As you go, you need to do something at Camperdown, because Camperdown keep having these very excellent team over the years and not winning anything. Yet something.
I know. I was looking forward to come be the coach. I was looking forward to be the coach recently, but yeah, I don't know. The COVID kind of messed that up. So at the minute we're upon a bit of a step back.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I would say let's see it go. Let's get over
this. They were supposed to win.
So many years. You're right.
I mean, said like this year they got banned or kicked out of the competition because they were going to win it.
Exactly. And trust me, I'm working on it though. Don't worry, you'll hear. I'm working on it, man. I'm going to start it up because as I said, talking on the forecast of football again.
Yeah.
Everything that I mentioned earlier in the interview, video analysis and all these things, to get them to revisit a lot of stuff, to set things right. Trust me, If I have,
All right.
if hopefully God's willing, everything set into place and get over this COVID nonsense, then we'll see. We'll
Yes,
see. God's willing, we'll see.
all right. All right. Blessings. On a day that I'm feeling as disappointed as you because Crystal Palace gave my team 3-0. But
Bye, Patrick Vieira, man. A big coach, you know, I'm happy for him. Because Arsenal never give him the job. Why? They give it to Arteta. Why? He's a better performer than Arteta. If we want to argue the point, he should have got the job, but we all know why. Trust me, man.
Anyway,
this world and easy.
Reggie, leave Arsenal business and stick to Chelsea business.
No, man, we not talk about the football. You know, read between the lines, you know. So,
we know. We know leave between the lines.
You know me, I say.
Yeah,
But that's why I'm glad he win. That's why I'm glad he win.
You know that we know that you have Toffee and you have Sino Mint and Toffee.
All
You
right.
understand me? So,
All right. No,
so a lot of people, you know, them like Sino Mint more than them like Toffee. You understand me?
Exactly. Get the point.
Yeah. All right. Bless up. Take care of the family. Yeah, man.
You do best every time, man. Thanks,
Every
man. Take care of yourself and your family, you know?
All right. Yeah, but all right. Blessings.
Yes, cool.
All right. So there you have it, people. Whoa. 3 hours with Ricardo Fuller. Awesome interview. So many lessons, principles, stuff said that can motivate, encourage, teach, all of these things. And so I encourage you to listen back, even if it's in bits and pieces. Thank you as well for being with us. In fact, listen, you know, we had a time on this because we have Alan Skillcole coming on today because he's eager to finish the rest of his story. So give us a little time and we will be back on to complete the Alan Skillcole interview that we had. And you'll understand why when we get to that. But want to thank Ricardo Fuller so much for coming on. Great time. Thanks to all of you who stick and stayed with me, you know, for the duration of this video. Thanks to our sponsors as well. Have yourself a wonderful day. As usual, we ask you to like, to share, and also to subscribe. You do that, and you help us in the work that we're doing. I'm Manningsman. This is I Am Sure Sports, and we are getting out of here.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New heard this. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.